Holy smokes, a hype train I haven't... Well, okay, you guys can hear me. I was gonna say, I haven't even actually got on screen yet, and you guys are throwing in that hype train. Not that I've played in. It's nice to see one of those every now and then. Oh, are you guys ready? I think I'm ready. It has been a hot minute. It has been a very hot minute. And I've got things working. Oops. Exactly. Oops. But I got things working pretty good. I got things working to the point. Well, thank you. Sounds like a complaint to me. No, 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 no. No complaints. No complaints. Thanks for the 5 biddies there, Star. Nope, don't take back the hype. The hype is... Look at this. I got my model today. I got my model today. I'm so happy for this one. No, I'll take them bits. Give me them bits. Give me them bits. What's up, guys? It is nice. Look at Teebs doing a Teebs again. Heck yeah. So, the exciting thing was I was going through some things, and I freaked out for a while because I could not find my webcam that I use for tracking. And I was looking through boxes, I was looking through bags, I went to my storage unit, I was looking through those boxes, and I was like, it has to be in one of these boxes. All of my stuff that I've had related to streaming or my computer or anything that's been on my desk has been in one of like 3 different boxes. Where did this turn up? There was one bag I did not look in because I was like, that's not gonna be the bag. That won't be where it's at. And what do you know? It was in the bag that I did not think it was going to be in. It was in a Bath & Body Works bag that had some pocket hand sanitizers in them. I probably put it in there one day just to get it out of the way for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, oh, yep, there it is. So through all of my looking around today, I finally found it. My tuber's tweaking. I think he's just kind of... He's trying to shake out the rust. He's trying to shake out the rust because we haven't used the tuber in a while. We're also getting used to a new lighting environment. Stuff like that. So, we got small little adjustments to make. Small little adjustments. But anyway, guys, how's it going? Welcome on in. Dio, D, Gabby, Tsunami, Star, Narina, Zep. How's it all going, guys? Appreciate you guys being here. Tsunami, thanks for the 18-month resub with your Prime. Much appreciate you, friend. Arena, 19 months at Tier 1. And Zep, the 20 bazillion year resub at Tier 1. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you're ready for some stories, ready to see all the gear that I picked up. Fine. Pick me up a chicken bake if you could, please. Or a slice of pizza. Actually, gotta go to Costco soon. Gotta pick up a few things. But we're not doing that today. I did make it to the store for a little bit today. But I had a lot of running around to do after I reacclimated myself, had a lot of work to catch up on today. I did a little work yesterday, but we got home incredibly late last night, or yesterday, from TwitchCon. But that'll all be part of the stories here in just a little bit. So, let's go over to where we're going to be doing a lot of our moving around and showing off stuff, cool things. Because we got the Handcam set back up. Hello. Welcome back, Handcam. We haven't had this since... I want to say since we did the Lego building of Tails and Cyclone, which is like back in July, somewhere around there. And yeah, Legos, so Tails and Cyclone. And I think before that was the charcuterie board with Zepp and who else did we do charcuterie with that day? See, it's been so long. It has been so long. I'm forgetting things. So we had the charcuterie board and we had the Legos. Those were the last times we used this. So I was glad, I was very happy to pull this out and do this again. Why? Because right over here is a heck of a lot of stuff that we bought in the past few days while we were out in San Diego. But not the charcuterie board. I think we'll do charcuterie again. We'll eventually do another charcuterie because what I enjoyed about the charcuterie board was not only the delicious meats, cheeses, and crackers on that charcuterie board, but it was the fun conversations that we had during the day, or during that time. So, I do have my water, by the way. Because I have the model back on, there are some redeems that I did reactivate. Like the cheese slap, and the ball throwing, and the hydrate. No, the hydrate's always been on there, but now you can actually see the hydrate. But I've got the water, and I've got the gamer subs. That was good timing. Threw that cheese right at the end of the water there. There we go. Ow. Stop it. Stop throwing the cheese. I know. You guys have probably got all that energy to get out. Ow. Because you haven't thrown the cheese or thrown the balls in a long time. Oh, so. Gonna have enough cheese to make some cheese sandwiches here pretty soon, if you guys keep this up. Alright, where do we start? Let's get you guys kind of caught up on life. I know right before TwitchCon, I was coming back from a... hooray, we're back, yay! I was coming back from a work trip the week before. Ouch. Who in the heck? I should... put you on vibrate. There we go. Right before TwitchCon, I was in Boston for a work trip. And we'll get you kind of caught up with where this story will go once we get towards the end of the TwitchCon stories. Because my experience at airports the last 2 weeks has not been fun. It has been absolutely garbage. Absolute garbage at airports the last couple of weekends. To the point where I'm glad I am not flying anywhere probably till next spring. Well, no, I take that back. Oh, thank you. I will probably hit the airport one more time. I was thinking strictly of work. I am not flying for work probably till next spring. I do have another trip probably coming up for the holidays. The nail polish was done by Mona. It is kind of worn out, as you can see. It's getting a little worn off there. Mona did my nails the Friday morning of TwitchCon. So I promise you they looked a lot better then. Kind of tempted to go buy the nail polish that she had to touch it up. Or go with a different color. Anyway. Yeah, I was in Boston prior to TwitchCon. I had work to do. We had a big tournament out there. So much that TwitchCon was a much-needed vacation after the experiences I had out in Boston. I don't mean now. Besides, we gotta find the right color. My awesome roommate Nominee is throwing nail polish at me. But it's not, I don't know if it's the same color. But we will do it soon. But maybe not on stream today. Anyway, went through Boston. Had that work trip. I got held up an extra day in Boston because a nor'easter was coming through. So the flight I was going to have the Monday before TwitchCon got moved to Tuesday. So I had an extra night in Boston. Had to fly out the next day. Which was great. Because ultimately the flight that I was going to be taking back that Monday night got canceled. Outright canceled. I rebooked the Saturday before because the airlines gave me the heads up. Hey, this storm's going to be coming in. It's most likely going to be causing lots and lots of delays. So here's a free opportunity to rebook your flight if you would like to. I did that. I called work. I said, hey, they're probably going to cancel this flight. Can I get an extra night? Blah, 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 blah. So I rebook my flight to Tuesday before TwitchCon for an earlier flight to try and get back home at a decent time. And I knew I had to get home at the right time because I had a volleyball game to work that night. That flight ended up getting delayed by about 4.5 hours. I did not get home until about 8:30 that night. So I spent about 5-6 hours at the Boston airport just waiting to get home. And I was like, you know what? This is I just realized, why is fishing not up here? Where's the fish? Where are the fishies? I can hear the fishies. Oh, are you? Where's the Handcam at? Why are you? Why are you layered like that? Go up. Now you guys should be able to fish. No, Iggy, don't eat the fish. Well, you can eat the fish. Cook the fish first, then eat them. Are you working on a blueprint? No. This is just a awesome desk mat made by the very talented pixel artist Cup of Joe. D got this for me for my birthday last year. Birthday or Christmas? It was a gift. I just remember it was a really awesome gift to see come in. But all the robot masters for Mega Man on here. Obviously, big Mega Man fan. So anyway, let's get to the start of the TwitchCon stuff. Well, as the cat's going insane. We'll start with the get-together on Wednesday. Tsunami and Dio come to the apartments. We relax. We have a good time with my roommates. We watch some stuff. We eat some pizza, even though the pizza took like 45 minutes to get. Because when we went to get the pizza, they said it would be ready at this time. And then we realized there's only 2 people working at the place we were getting pizza. But we ate really good pizza that night. We watched a couple of things. And then we went to bed. We didn't get a whole lot of sleep Wednesday night into Thursday. A, because we had to be at the airport at 6:45. B, you know that excitement you got at Christmas that you couldn't sleep? because you were excited for gifts and you were excited for everything that was under the tree. That's what happened with us. There was just lots and lots of excitement for TwitchCon. Yeah, TwitchCon was I mean, we'll get to the experiences here pretty soon. There's a lot of underlying stuff from other people at TwitchCon from this year. We won't touch base on it too much, but there was some drama going on at TwitchCon this year. Anyway, we wake up Thursday morning. We're out the door by like 5:45. Because this was Tsunami's first time flying in a number of years. This was Dio's first ever flight. That boy has been stuck to 3 different states his entire life. We had to finally break him into the air and take him somewhere else. So it was Dio's first ever flight that we took him on. So we got to the airport, got through security just fine, pretty flawless.
We crave sustenance. Food.
Let's get that food. 25 years. So still a long, very, very, very long time. Hot Rod, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. But everyone got through security pretty quick. The airport wasn't super busy yet, so we did all right. Ow. After that, we kind of walked around the airport. So the airport, very, very big. So we got in still about, I don't know, hour, 45 minutes before we had to board our flight. So I'm like, hey, let's go through this really cool tunnel. There's a couple of sides to this airport here, or at least in this one terminal at least. If you've ever flown through Chicago, O'Hare is one of the busiest airports in the country. It is a very big airport, and you can also connect to all the different terminals except for Terminal 5, which is the international one. So what did we do? We walked around the airport for a hot minute because we didn't want to sit. We were excited. We were a little tired, but we did not want to sit in one place or else we'd probably fall asleep. Stuff like that. Good. Gonna write an email while I listen. All right. It's all story time. We will have some visual here in just a minute. All you guys are looking at right now are my hands and my nails that Mona did very, very nicely. So we go to one side of the terminal, kind of show them what's over there. It's like, because I was trying to be like, hey, if we want breakfast, we can go here, 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 here. If we want coffee, we've got a couple places we can go as well. But there's just so much space to walk around. So I show them a couple places. We go through if you've ever been through O'Hare, Terminal 1, there's a tunnel that goes underneath the gates between gates B and C. It's got like a fun little light show that goes over in the ceiling and everything down by the moving walkways. So I just kind of wanted to show off. This is part of the fun that we get while you're traveling at the airport. But we keep walking around. We eventually get a little bit of food. We get our travel pretzels from Auntie Anne's. We go to Dunkin'. We get our coffee. And we get back to the gate probably about 15 minutes or so before we're about to board the flight. That's when things start to kind of get a little antsy. I think Dio was getting a little antsy, but it's always like a lot of people when I hear that they're the afraid of flying, it's always the takeoff and the landing that is hard for a lot of people. And Dio, I know you're kind of lurking there, so if you want to kind of throw in your 2 cents about your flying experience, please feel free. Anska, what's up, buddy? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well, my guy. So we take off from Chicago, going towards San Diego, and we are in one of the newer planes that has the TVs in the headrests for every seat, basically. So it was about a 4-hour flight. We had a little delay getting out of Chicago because there was some communication errors between the pilots and the ground crew. more or less one of the headsets on the ground crew was broken, so they couldn't necessarily push back without having to talk to the pilots. You can't necessarily move a big plane if there's no communication. Just helped set up my mom's new computer. Nice. So I want to say we were waiting for about 25 minutes before we were able to actually back away from the gate. We start to taxi. Then we stop a little bit more on the tarmac for another, 20 minutes or so. So it was like, I was going to say it was probably about an hour overall between us leaving the gate and us finally taking off. Because I started watching a movie. Dio started watching a movie. Tsunami, I think you were also watching something, if I remember correctly, or you were playing something on your Switch. All I remember is I started watching my movie, and by the time we took off, at least for my movie, it was already like 45 minutes in. Dio says it was an hour because he was an hour into his movie. But anyway, we take off. I watch a couple 007 films on the way. Dio watches the live action Cells at Work and something else. I can't remember the other movie he watched. But anyway, we fly. We're enjoying our times. I'm opening the window a little bit here and there, pointing out... Oh, he started Lord of the Rings. Gotcha. Honestly, for both flights, you could have watched the regular versions of Lord of the Rings. You could have watched Fellowship on the way there. You could have watched Two Towers on the way back. Easily. Obviously not the extended versions. These were just the regular movie cut versions. But it's like, hey, I open up the window. I'm looking out the window and, kind of pointing things out. Dio gets kind of curious. He looks out the window every now and then. I know regular is definitely not enough. It's live action How to Train Your Dragon. Okay. And then, that's right, Dio watched Cells at Work, the live action Cells at Work, and then he watched Space Jam. I watched Skyfall and Spectre. I'm a big Bond film person. I have not watched a Bond film in a while, and those two were on there. Two of my favorites, so I watched them back to back. And I got through the entire flight watching them back to back. So we're starting to get close. I open up the window, and the nice thing with these flights is on the TVs you can track your flight, and I see we're like, I don't know, a little over an hour out, and I look and see where we're at. We're flying directly over New Mexico, and I remember looking down, and I saw Albuquerque right underneath us, and I was like, oh, I think Zepp's getting ready to fly out, so I just look out the window and I just do a little wave, hoping that Zepp can see me from 35,000 feet up. But we're flying, and eventually we start coming down. We land in San Diego. We get off the plane, stretch our legs. Waiting for us in San Diego is D. We had planned on meeting at the airport with D because D was flying in at roughly the same time. But because we were delayed, D was actually sitting outside of our gate for roughly an hour. I can't remember if D, I know D said they were going to Costco. I want to say they were waiting for anywhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours for us. But they had little crochet projects to take care of, so they were able to bide their time. They were able to take care of their time and whatnot. Space Jam is a movie I haven't really seen too many times, maybe 8. I can, for some reason, quote that movie end to end every time. I mean, it's a great movie. It's an easy movie to quote, too. Count of Monte Cristo, that's a movie I have not seen in a hot minute. I did enjoy that movie. I remember seeing that movie in theaters. That's honestly probably one of the last times I actually saw that, so it's a long time ago. So we get to San Diego. We meet up with D. D's waiting outside of our airport. And, we're kind of walking out. And there's a long, long line for the rental cars. I think it took us about 20 to 25 minutes to get through this line that gets you to the shuttle. Then it was another 20 to 25 minute transfer from the terminal to the rental car center at the airport, because there was so much construction going on that basically to get out of the airport, I think this was Terminal 2 we were in. Everything's going down to one lane to get out of the airport. So much construction going on that everything was at a standstill getting out of the airport. But anyway, we get on our bus ride, we go get our car. We got a nice big white SUV, so we were able to put everyone's luggage in there without a problem. From there, we drove over to the convention center, because by the time we were out of the airport, it was probably like 1:30 or whatever, and we knew that wristband and badge pickup was going on until about 8 o'clock. So first things first, we wanted to go down to the convention center. We wanted to pick up our wristbands. We wanted to pick up our badges. We wanted to be ready to go. And we're getting closer and closer. And one of the big things on this trip, it was a treat for all of us because it was a brand new convention for us. It was everyone's first TwitchCon. We have been waiting for TwitchCon for half the year. So we were just excited. We were also very, very hungry. So we get to the convention center. We see all the banners and everything outside. They're on the lampposts. They're on the convention center. There's digital billboards on the way. All for TwitchCon going on. And we get there. We park our car. We're downstairs in the parking garage. And we meet up with our next two people. And what timing. What timing for Mona to come in. Because I was just about to talk about you and Soku. That was like perfect timing. Perfect timing. Also, hi Mona. Hello. So we get to the convention center. And we meet up with Mona and Soku. They had made the very, very long trek. They drove 11 hours, I think. I want to say it was 11 hours. So we got there. We met up with Mona. We met up with Soku. We all go inside. We all get our badges. We all get our wristbands. We get our little doodads. We get our little welcome bag and everything. And we kind of just see part of the inside. Really, the first area for TwitchCon was we lined up outside to go inside for wristband pickup and for badge pickup. Where they have the pickup, big open space, a lot of stanchions, you know, where you wait in lines and stuff. But you couldn't see inside where the con was actually going on. They had that, I think, curtained off. So all you could see was this little hall where we were picking up our badges and we were picking up our wristbands. Anyway, we all get our badges, we all get our wristbands, and we're all very, very hungry. I'm running on a travel pretzel. Tsunami's running on a travel pretzel. I don't know what Dio was running on as far as food goes that morning. On top of the stroopwafel that I had in the plane. So we were running on basically some small snacks and
Red meat, we
a
crave
couple of things of water, basically. We walk into the gas lamp quarter. D had a recommendation from a friend about a really, really good taco place called Tacos El Gordo. So we walked, I want to say it was about 10 minutes, 15 minutes up the road from the convention center. We get to this taco place. It's got a lot of great reputation. And we're going to take a break on storytelling because we are in ads. We're in our ad break, so we're going to take a short 90-second break here. Those of you that are subbed or have Twitch Turbo, you can still hear me. Ooh, why are you on there? Steam, what are you doing? Why is Steam on there? Let's get rid of that. let's get rid of my Steam page. I think Steam was up there because recently I was helping Hot Rod out with some of his streaming stuff. So that's probably why that was up there. You get to tell me the latest Ellie news? Yeah, Anska, let's hear it. We'll just leave that off there. Anyway, for those that are still seeing me during this ad break, hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Hope your day has been going well. Hope your week has been going well. For those of you that were at TwitchCon, hope you've been able to recover a little bit, get some sleep caught up. Hope work wasn't too hard on you after you got in that next day. Or in a country that doesn't properly support Twitch anymore, so no ads. Perfect. Even better. She's walking now. On Sunday, she took her first 3 steps. Tuesday, we had our first actual walk outside, and she's had fun time exploring the sea defenses and discovering chalk. That's so adorable, Anska. I am so happy to hear that Ellie is moving along. Literally, moving along. Anyway, guys, welcome back from ad break. Let's head on back over to our screen here. Eventually, again, Handcam will not be just hands. We will have all the stuff over here to show off. I got so much. We're getting there. We're getting there. Going back on our Friday. Also, if you didn't know, she's talking to 4 words down. We're starting the encyclopedia for Ellie. He's got hands, y'all, and these cute nails that Mona did. I just got to touch them up soon or give them a new color because they're starting to fade a little bit. But they've actually been holding out pretty good. So anyway, we go to a place called Tacos El Gordo in the Gas Lamp Quarter. What was really, really unique about this place, it was very authentic for one. 2, you had to wait in a different line depending on what you were getting. If you were getting carne asada, you were waiting in one line. If you were getting some of the other different meats, you had to wait in a different line. If you were getting certain products, you had to wait in a different line. I personally had a chorizo quesadilla. Mona and Soku split some carne asada fries, which were absolutely fire. I'd go back there in a heartbeat just for the carne asada fries. Everyone else got the tacos of choice. I also had a really, really, really good glass of horchata. So if I go back to San Diego, that place will be the place to go. If you're in San Diego between now and next TwitchCon, if you plan on going to TwitchCon or just to San Diego in any span of time before that, Tacos El Gordo. Fantastic place. Wait till I get to cook for you all. I'll put on my best flavor. Anska, I am just anticipating the day we get to have that chance to try your cooking. So, for the rest of Thursday, after the convention center, I realize I'm starting to run a little short on time because I've got to go pick up 2 more friends from the airport. So in the basement of the convention center, we kind of exchanged some of our luggage with Soko and Mona. They take some of our stuff. They took Dio with them as well. And they went off to our Airbnb to get that opened up because it was getting close to the time where our Airbnb was opening up. Meanwhile, me, Tsunami, and D all went back to the airport because we had to pick up Zep and Narina. I like driving, so, and I was the one with the rental car for the weekend, so I'm like, you know what, if anyone needs pickup from the airport, let me know, I will get you. So Zep and Narina were the next 2 to come in. I went and picked them up from the airport. They both got in roughly about the same time, if I remember correct, maybe with like a 20-minute buffer in there. Zep was very, very easy to spot because he was wearing Ali Delaber's very orange hat with the mustache on it. For those of you that don't know, Ollie is one of Porcelain Maid, or Joel's, video editors. Does a really fantastic job on a lot of his shorts and his clips. So I was able to pick out Zepp from a mile away. Only because that hat stuck out like no other. It was highlighter orange. And I just looked down, and it's like, there's a sea of like 200 people down the sidewalk, and that little orange dot peeking out. I was like, oh, yep, there they are. So we unite with Zepp and Norina. We take them to their hotel, and they go off and have a good night because they wanted to go get their badges. They wanted to just kind of walk around and stuff like that. So Zepp and Norina go off and go do whatever they wanted to do for the night. So after that, we go to the Airbnb. We unload the Airbnb. Not only for like till 15 minutes later, we got to go pick up one more person from the airport. And it's one of Dee's friends. It's Dee's friend Animative, or Oscar. You guys have seen him in here as well. He's another great artist. So we go back to the airport, pick him up, and then come on back. And every time it was like an hour because traffic was still terrible at the airport because of all the construction. And then for the rest of Thursday night, after we all kind of get settled in, we find our places in the Airbnb. Dee and Dio took the bunk beds. Oscar took one of the queen-size beds. Soko and Mona took the king-size bed. And Tsunami and I, we got the 2 separate couches. By the way, very comfortable, by the way. So we were all able to comfortably sleep in the same house. Real nice place. Parking's another story, which we'll talk about here in a second. So Thursday night, we are celebrating not only us being together for the first time, well, most of us together for the first time, we are also celebrating Dee's birthday. So we all went out for Korean barbecue, ate a ton of meat, had a really, really good time at this Korean barbecue place. Got the chance to talk to everybody. Some people, I think it was Mona's first time having Korean barbecue. That might have been it. I think it was only Mona's first time actually having Korean barbecue. Everyone else has had Korean barbecue at least once. But we eat a couple hours worth of, just sitting around, chatting, eating meat, eating really good food. Filled up really... No, you talked. We talked. It was like we had one half of the table was talking to them. We had our half of the table that was talking to amongst us. So we talked. You talked. We chatted. We had a good time. After that, we went to the Target. We picked up some groceries. We picked up a couple things. And then we went back to the Airbnb. Played a couple games. Had some drinks. Just enjoyed each other's company. And then we went to bed. That was day 0. Yeah, I would love to go get K-Barbecue. Oh, I love K-Barbecue. I could just eat bulgogi all day. So we get to Friday. Friday morning comes around. Everyone's rested up. Everyone's excited. Backtrack real quick to Thursday night. We did get a warning from the person that rents out the Airbnb that said, hey, just so you know, it is a decently dense neighborhood, so you might have trouble finding parking if you go out at night. Needless to say, we got back from K-Barbecue, and there was no parking, along our part of the street. So I tell everybody, hey, you know what? I'm just going to pull up. I'm going to throw the flashers on. You guys get out. You guys go get settled in. I'm going to go find parking. So everybody gets out of the car. And I start driving down the street. Nothing. I turn around, come back the other way. Go about 4 blocks past the house. No parking. I turned back. Hopefully, maybe somebody pulled out. No parking. Yeah, no, Anska, no garage attached to the house. The person that had the Airbnb said it's not permit parking in that part of the city, so if you need to, go park on the street over, whatever it might be. I drove around for 35 minutes trying to find parking, to the point where I got a call from D asking if I was okay because they had not seen me. They had not heard from me. I had not walked in the door. By the time I finally found parking, is when D was calling saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yes, I finally found parking. I am starting to walk back. It might be a few minutes, but I am starting to walk back." Yes, 35 minutes. The thing with San Diego was they have 3 different curb colors that I did not learn about until after I finally got back to the house. Because I saw red curbs, which red curbs I pretty much understood, hey, no parking here. Easy enough. They had yellow curbs and they had white colored curbs. The yellow and the whites, I didn't know what they were. I figured they were both some sort of restriction or whatever it had to be, so I didn't park in those spots. I came to find out yellow was kind of like restricted for, you had to have some sort of permit, so it could have been like handicap or it could have been something else basically. And then I came to find out that the white curbs were pretty much like the white zones in an airport, where it's more or less for picking people up or dropping people off. You cannot park there. And for whatever reason, this neighborhood was littered with all 3 colors. Now, given, again, we were only 10, maybe 15 minutes north. We were in a good neighborhood. It was just annoying. It was just annoying. So yeah, 35 minutes to find parking that day. I ended up parking just under half a mile away from the house. Right off of our street, though. Alright, we backtracked to parking. Now let's go back to Friday. Friday morning, we all wake up. We have some breakfast. We have coffee. Dio makes his very famous breakfast bagel sandwiches. So everyone had one of those. And then we all got in the car and went on our way. Nice thing with the car that I had is it had 3rd row seating, so I was like, everyone just pile in my car. There's no need for us to take 2 cars. We're going to take 1 car. So we all pack into the SUV. We all drive down to the convention center. Parking, there was a little bit of a line to get in parking. But we park. We all walk in. There's a nice long line outside of people waiting to get in. So we had to go from like door... They were letting people in door B. We were all the way down by door G. So it was a bit of a ways away. Needless to say, line was constantly moving. We got in, I think, in 10 minutes. So walking in, you scan your wristband, you go through the lines, and then you finally walk through the entrance. The entrance is really, really cool. It's surrounded by like all these silver balloons. There's TwitchCon branding right there. You walk through this. As soon as you walk through, you're in the exhibitor space. You're in the industry space. You're by the arcade. You're by where the storefront, where the TwitchCon or merch was, basically. So first thing to the left was the arcade. They had a big dino, the dino dance emote that you guys see a lot on Twitch. They had a big balloon version of that. As you went through, again, different kinds of, all sorts of companies were downstairs, like Elgato, Capcom. They had spots for Minecraft. They had spots for Phasmophobia, GamerSups. All these little indie companies were down there as well. Meet and greets were held down at the first one. They had some charities downstairs. The 2 big gaming stages were downstairs. So, not a whole lot of... I would say maybe 40% of our time was spent down there. More of it was spent upstairs, where a lot of the panels in the artist alley were. So we walk in. most of the gangs made their way upstairs, so we go join them upstairs. And we start going through Artist Alley. Now, a good chunk of our group, again, big fans of Joel. And we know one of their mods, Deerbits, has a Artist Alley booth. So we book it straight to Deerbits' booth. We get to meet Deer. We get to meet Saranya. We get to meet Anna. All great people. All mods for Joel. Well, actually, I take that back. We didn't meet Anna right away. Deer was there. Saranya was there. And I think those were the only two. We found Anna a little bit later. But this is where we'll start showing off some of the merch, some of the stuff that we got. So the first thing I really wanted to do, well, first of all, I rethanked Deer for the commission that she did for me after I won her lottery, or her raffle that she held over the summer. I was going to show that off here real quick, because I know some of you have seen it, some of you have not seen it. Where is thing? Let's just do this. Let me go find it. We won't make the source visible just yet, just in case. Showing things off. Okay, perfect. That was the last thing that was shown, so you'll be able to see it. So Deer again was the one. Gonna lurk, scream from ear at me if you need me. Got it, Mona. Have a good lurk. Deer is the one that made this awesome commission for me from the raffle that she had. So this is Deer's art. Deer does stream mods if you want to do a. Actually, mods, I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna have you do several shouts for certain people that we talk about tonight because they were really cool. Deer is one that you guys can shout out if you could, please. So we went and seen Deer, and we got a few things from Deer. I probably could have spent a lot more money on Deer because Deer had a lot. Thank you, Narina. So there's Deer. You can go support Deer. I'm trying to find the little sticker I have first, because we'll go from small to big here. We'll go from small to big. Aha. So first of all, let me get that off the screen real quick. So first of all, again, everything that I got from Deer was all Joel related. So we start with this awesome little sticker that I got here. That's probably going to go either on the back of my laptop or on a water bottle. I was thinking about putting it on the back of my badge, which didn't. I put other stuff on the back first, so we started with this. So we got this little sticker. Ugh, my model's going crazy when I take a little turn like that. Next up, we have. I love Joel's nun model, so we got this awesome piece right here. His nun model is completely separate lore from his regular porcelain, or his main model. So we had that one. So we got this piece here. Up. Yeah. Water. So we got that. And then the last thing, ouch. Last thing we got was this big old happy birthday art, which also was featured outside of Artist Alley, or was when you walked into Artist Alley at TwitchCon, they had like these two separate walls to the left and to the right, featuring all different artists. This was one of them. This piece was up there. I'm also realizing that it is still very reflective, so I'm kind of sitting back right now. Not that you guys would probably see me anyway, but anyway, Joel in the middle, all of his mods along the outside. I did get some of the mods to sign it, like Deer signed it because Deer's right there. Anna signed it because Anna is right there. And Saranya signed it. Saranya's up here. But you can see other people in here as well, like Gal's right here, Iggy's here, Bun's over there. Helena, our good friend Helena's down here as well. So Helena and Saranya and Gal are all of Joel's kids. They were all designed by him. So we picked up some art. We picked up some really, really good art. We got the chance to meet Deer and all of them. It was fantastic meeting all of them, by the way. The amount of people that we met this week, it's one of those, you know, you're talking with these people all the time through Twitch or in streams or what have you, and you finally get to meet them. I will say, as we keep going, before we keep going here, everyone that I met this past weekend, amazing people, all very nice, all very pleasant, all very open to talking. Obviously, some people are a little shy or a little anxious. I mean, trust me, I was shy and anxious with a lot of different things, but it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. So we start walking around a little bit in Artist Alley. I know, Gabby, hopefully one year you can make it with us. Anska, hope you can make even the trip over as well. I think we'd have a blast. We would have such a blast all together. So we start walking around the Artist Alley a little bit. I'm looking at different booths, looking at little charms here and there, looking at stickers. Friday I did a good chunk of my shopping as well. We met up with some more blockheads as well. We met up with Fuser, who is a very well-known chatter in Joel's streams. Fuser's big thing is, and he's in our Discord as well, Fuser is well known for wearing the chat blockhead. So I'll type it in chat here real quick. This little guy. So Fuser walks around with the head on top. And he's wearing a different outfit every day, basically. I think Friday he was just kind of in like a t-shirt and stuff, but he walked around in a suit one day, and I think maybe it was a suit 2 of the days. If you're part of Joel's streams, you've probably seen this got showed off on Monday or Tuesday. It's on Fuser's social media. But he gave me, and he handed out these 8x10s of this guy right here. Look at that. Look at that cake. Look at that cake that Joel has. Fuser did this art himself. Did a fantastic job. Let me see if I can. It doesn't help. Mind my finger. But yeah. No, not that kind of cake, Anska. We're talking about this cake. We're talking about this big porcelain cake right here. But Fuser gave me this. He had a big poster of it as well, a big landscape that a lot of people signed. So we got around that. Give me a second here. Some stuff fall over. So I'm going to put that back in there. So yeah, we got to meet up with Fuser. Eventually also, as we were walking around, I saw a lot of your signatures on the big... Yeah. Mine was on there. Zep was on there. Can't remember, Narina. I think you signed it, if I remember correct. But basically, every blockhead, or at least most of the blockheads, and a lot of the streamers that Fuser went around and met, had the chance to sign it, or did sign it. Let's see. As we're going throughout Friday, I run into a few other artists as well. And next thing on our list here is a gentleman by the name of Jay Purier. There's your QR code if you'd like to scan QR code. Maybe let me put the autofocus on here real quick. Let me see if that helps you guys out at all. Dun, dun, dun. Let's try the autofocus. See if that helps at all. If it does that little thing again, though, where it kind of bounces in and out, then we're going to turn off autofocus again. Anyway, let's try this. Does that work? Or is it still too bright? Might still be too bright. Might still be too bright. Anyway. Jay Purier. That's his little guy right there. That was his business card. I got some Mega Man stickers from him. We got Rock Ball, so we got classic Mega Man there playing Mega Man Soccer, a very underrated game on Super Nintendo. We got King Servbot with Tron right there. And we got one more Legends sticker with the Lunch Rush. Servbots and all that on there. So we got some awesome stickers from Jay Purier. So that's it. There's the QR code again, if you would like to look into that. I thought it was very cute. I kept telling myself at this convention, I'm not going to try to go too heavy on like video game stickers or anime merch whatsoever, because I go to enough anime conventions that I can see some of this stuff. I'm here to look for streamers. I'm here to look for VTube merch, stuff like that. But I was like, these are cute for one. Two, I don't see a whole lot of Legends stuff out there, although it's been starting to come back around a little bit. But I couldn't pass up Legends merch like this. So we picked up these stickers from Jay Purier. We also stopped by another artist to pick up some keychains. I got, yeah, the art style is so cute, right? Honestly, there were a lot of cute art styles. Next we stopped by, I think it was Ugu Bear. I might get a couple artists mixed up here, so if you see something that was probably from a different artist and I misnamed the artist, please let me know. Next up we go, I'm pretty sure it was Ugu Bear that we saw next, and I got some more charms from them. I picked up actually I'm going to take you out of your little baggie, because I'll probably put you on something here eventually. So we picked up stuff for one of the first streamers I ever watched, and I still watch her to today. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to meet her because the line was super long. But we got Lily. Double-sided with Lily. Holding the pup on that one. Other side, she's got the little hard eyes. Chomping on a shrimpy. I don't like that there's... Oh, wait. That's just the plastic on here. That's kind of scratched out there. So we got that one. We also got Joel, who is on the chain to my wallet. So Joel is also double-sided. We got Maid. We just got two sides of Joel. And then the third one that I got, I gave to my roommate, because my roommate's a big fan of Chibi Doki. So I got him his charm of Chibi, which he's got somewhere. Anyway, that was for that. So we got those two little guys right here. Womp womp indeed. So we got those. I'm just going to kind of put them off to the side. We went to another artist who was selling some other charms as well. This one, these are by... These next ones I'm showing off are by Wave-chan. There's a QR code for Wave-chan if you'd like to look at them. It's literally the only thing you know about Lily is Womp Womp. I mean, that is what got me hooked on Lily, first of all, in the first place, was the Womp Womp. I remember a couple years ago when I started watching Lily, all I saw it was like a video where it was her just going Womp Womp, Womp Womp, Womp Womp. And I thought it was cute as hell. So I went over and started tuning into Lily, and I think I've been subbed to Lily now for like 31 months or something. Lily's one of the first VTubers that I ever started watching. Oh no, we're in ad break. Guess we gotta go over here for a moment before we actually continue on. Anyway, subbies, Twitch Turbo, and apparently countries that don't show the ads, like where Gabby's at. How you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope things have been good for you. Quickly get out of this ad break. Hard to believe we're almost to November. New food idea you had today? No, Ansko, what's your new food idea? Honestly, if you put it in Discord, I haven't had the chance to really look at Discord at all today. I have been just completely swamped, getting caught up with work. Because I didn't, unfortunately, get a whole lot of work done yesterday because we got back so late Tuesday morning. And I had a lot of running around to do and a few other things, so I didn't really get the chance to check Discord either yesterday or today. Oh, yes. I love Scotch eggs. I have been to several British-style pubs over here that have Scotch eggs. And I will absolutely scarf down a Scotch egg. Or 10. Did you get something done with Scotch eggs? Alright, welcome back from Ad Jail, everybody. Let's go back to the other screen while Anska talks about Scotch eggs. I'm actually very excited to hear about these Scotch eggs. While he's getting the stuff ready for Scotch eggs, hello everybody, welcome on back. We are talking about our next artist here, Wavechan. Actually, hold on. Joel, I will put you back on the wallet here in a little bit. We'll put you up here for right now. So yeah, again, these two are Ugu Bear. Next two I'm about to show you are from Wavechan. Wavechan was another one that I found Mega Man merch at. They had a whole catalog of charms, stickers, all sorts of stuff going on there. But we got from Wavechan, again, two of my more favorite series of Mega Man. We started out with Mega Man EXE. So there we got Mega Man and Proto Man on this side. And then Lan and his name. Can't remember. Heck, can't remember. And then on this side though, this next one we found more Legends stuff. So we got Mega Man Volnut, we got Data down here. Flip it over. We got Roll. Still the best version of Roll in my opinion, by the way. This was still my favorite version of Roll. Was the one out of Legends. Because she's cute as hell. Try to make it healthier. Starting with salmon fillet, simmer in milk to leave cool while you mash potato with herbs. Flake the salmon, combine with the potato herbs, form a salmon patty. Soft boil an egg, transfer to ice water. Wrap the egg in salmon patty and breadcrumbs. Air fry to golden brown salmon, fish, caked eggs. Interesting. Might be another one of those recipes you have to show off there, Anska. Because that actually sounds really, really good. I'm actually going to bring all these out again real quick, just so we're moving some stuff around, so this way you guys can still see everybody. Can still see all the amazing stuff that we got here. Actually, we'll throw J. Perrier there. There we go. So we'll put those all down there. You won't be able to eat it. How are you coming? You tend to come up with stuff that sounds really, really good, and then you can't eat it. You're coming up with all these good ideas, but you can't enjoy them. What the heck? Let's continue on. So a lot throughout Friday. Spent also at panels. What I really liked about TwitchCon, first of all, is if you've ever been to like a regular comic convention or you go to an anime convention, a lot of panels most of the time are people, just talking opinions. They're talking about their top 10 favorite waifus or why this is better than that or, your waifu is trash, stuff like that. What I really liked about TwitchCon is it kind of felt like a work conference. Because a lot of these panels that you go to are workshops. They are learning experiences. They are Twitch ambassadors and Twitch employees and content creators that are talking about A, B, and C, and here's some tips on how to do this, or here's some tips on how to edit your videos this way. Here's how to help boost your social media, stuff like that. It was a lot of learning about how to stream and how to stream properly, or how to stream better, or what you can do better to make your stream better, stuff like that. That is one thing I really, really enjoyed about TwitchCon. Outside of along with seeing friends, along with seeing a lot of really, really cool things, you got to learn a lot of different things. And I've got a notebook that Narina gave me, which is... Do I have it over here still? Oh, yes. So, this awesome little notebook here, I filled up with notes from different panels that we went to. And basically, we were taking in a lot of stuff to figure out how to make things better, how we can grow as a streamer, how we can grow as a community, how I can make some stuff a lot better here visually, or more appealing for you guys, stuff like that. So we learned a lot of stuff this past weekend, and between all of us, we're gonna be working on that. So look for stuff to kind of go through some cycles here as we continue on. After perusing Artist Alley for a bit, going to some panels, it was like, okay, I gotta walk around some more. Haven't had the chance to really do anything outside of Artist Alley. Haven't really had the chance to go look at exhibitors or the industry area. One of the biggest stops I wanted to make during the weekend was go to GamerSupps. I am not sponsored by GamerSupps. If I ever got... but I'm still going to sponsor the heck out of them, at least, and give them lots of shouts, because I love GamerSupps. So we checked out their booth. They had meet and greets all weekend with some of their VTubers and some of the streamers that are sponsored and whatnot. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to really meet anybody, because every meet and greet line that was there was very, very long. The people that I wanted to meet were anything between... Lily was there on Saturday. Buff Pup was there on Sunday. And I'm trying to remember one other streamer that was there that I had some interest in. And I think Vichiban was there I think they were there as a whole one day, if I remember correct. But every time there was a meet and greet time, it was either A, I had something going on, or B, by the time I actually got there, the line was super long. What I really liked about the GamerSupps booth is they had buckets and buckets of the sample packs that you can get, to the point where I was just kind of grabbing sample packs. It was Guacamole Gamerfart 3000 and Blowhole Blast that they had pretty much in those. Not the biggest fan of Guacamole Gamerfart, so I grabbed a lot of the Blowhole Blast, and I was using those throughout the weekend instead of opening up the tubs that I got. But nice thing was, there was a slight discount on getting GamerSupps there. Tubs were like $5 off. Everything was kind of like $5 off, more or less. Yeah, Tsunami had the pleasure of trying Guacamole Gamerfart 3000, and I think that taste stayed in his cup for a long time. I can't remember if it was the entire weekend or not. So I told him to try it, just for the joke of the name. I think it tastes alright. It's not one that I would buy. But apparently it was one of those that Tsunami did not care for. But we did get some new flavors. Well, 3 new flavors and one that I typically buy. One that I always buy is Blowhole Blast. This has been my go-to ever since I started buying GamerSupps. Because of the tropical flavors. I love coconut, and this one hits it off pretty well. So this one I always get, and because it's got Lily on it too. So we got that one. One that I've really, really wanted to try, it's a newer flavor, is BBL, which is like a blueberry lemonade. This stuff is really... I had the sample of this one. I haven't opened it yet. But the taste was really good. It's not like that overpowered lemonade or that overpowered like blueberry that you get out of blueberry lemonade. It was it was a nice little mix. So that one's in there. Buff Puff came out with Doggy Style, which is like an apple tea. This one I opened up for the first time today. Enjoyed the heck out of it. So Buff Puff is another one with Doggy Style. Would highly recommend there. And then the one caffeine-free version that I went with was Bowberry. Actually, I've got a cup of it right now. But I've been drinking more of the water than my Gamer Subs. Maybe I should drink some of my Gamer Subs. But, yeah, we got Bowberry as well. But we got the caffeine-free version. So what was really nice is they had samples. They had samples sitting out all weekend. They had, like, these 4 or 5 big tubs sitting around that you could get samples out of in the little cups so you could try them all weekend long. Goose, welcome on in. How you doing, friends? Hope your week's going well. Welcome on in. Actually, I'm going to drink some of that. Speaking of Gamer Subs, it was stuff I bought Sunday. But they did have an exclusive TwitchCon cup, which has more anime booba on it with a Super Soaker, basically. But this was San Diego. This was TwitchCon's exclusive from Gamer Subs this year. So they had these for sale at the convention. They also had 2 cranes on the corners of Gamer Subs that they had these in, and then they put some discontinued cups in the rest of the time. So this is what we got from Gamer Subs. You need a caffeinate redeem. It works the same way as Hydrate, but said it's a coffee monster at Gamer Subs. I mean, you know what the mystery is? The mystery is you guys don't know what I'm actually hydrating with at times, so I'll sometimes tell you guys what I'm hydrating with, but a lot of times it's like you guys just have to guess. When you redeem Hydrate, am I actually hydrating with water, or am I hydrating with something else? Typically, 90% of the time, it is water. But this time we do have water, and we do have Gamer Subs. And I'm drinking the Bowberry because it's caffeine-free now. Man has the juice of fresh lemons in that cup. A couple other Gamer Subs pickups this past weekend were this awesome like jacket that I'm trying to remember. It's like a shirt, but I'm trying to remember the official name for it. It's like the light Japanese jacket. It starts with an H, I think. Can't remember the official name. Anyway, these I think were on a limited sale a long time ago, but they also had these. If you guys can't tell, I like Shy Lily. Again, another really, really big fan of on the side of VTubers. So I bought this, wore it for Sunday, because it is very soft, very comfy, and they had it on sale for like $35. I thought it was going to be like 60 or 70, and I would have passed on it. I'll have to just get a picture with it later to show it off completely. And then Lily had she had a workout, like a gym arc base that she had with some waifu cups and stuff, and had these standees that were given out or were a part of the purchase in the past. So when I didn't get the standee originally, I just got the cup that she had when they had this specific drop. But they're like, hey, you bought that, we're going to give you this standee for free. So, more Lily. More Lily from Gamer Subs. So we got that. Let's see. What else did we do? Let's see. So, going on Friday as well, Matara Khan was there. Mata's another one that I'll watch on occasion. But she had a booth. She had some really cute stickers set up. So, and they were decently priced. So if you are a Momo yourself, we had some awesome Momo stickers that she had. They're all very, very cute. More Momo stickers. A couple of Matas in there as well. And then even more Momos, but more Mata on this one. So we had lots from Matara Khan. And because we bought the sticker packs, we got these little wanted posters here. So we got the evil Momo. And then we've got, have you seen these feet? What are those? Again, Mata is a rather wholesome VTuber. She's a bug VTuber. More specifically, she is a cockroach VTuber. But she is very, very sweet. She had a meet and greet. Didn't get the chance to go to that because you needed like a separate meet and greet for it. But I didn't get the chance to meet Mata myself. I saw Mata several times from a small distance, but she was very, very sweet from what I understand. Speaking of D, hi D. D has been working on a lot of projects lately. I'm gonna promo D here real quick. I'm gonna give D some fresh promos here. First of all, mods, can you shout out D for me, please? D was working on some crocheting projects and some other crafty bits over the weekend for. What do you mean hi? What's with the awkward hi? Do you not want the promotions? Do you not want the spotlight for a minute? Oh, too bad you're getting the spotlight. You're stuck downtown because light rail. Ooh, I'm sorry. So my stream is getting pushed back. Oh no! Well, when D goes live, go say hi to D. But D made this nice little crochet here with a little otter. So a little soft little ball of otter. Very cute, very soft. Again, go check out D later. And she'll be streaming some stuff. Go check out her VGen as well. She's got lots of her crafty bits up on VGen. Yeah. She's good. She good people. She real good people. So as we got done to the end of Friday, it was probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock when we were just kind of getting a little EP and whatnot. But it was a good first day. Got around to a lot of booths. Got to see some people. We also met Flip. We met Eon. We met Momo. So we got the chance to catch up with some friends that we've played online with, but we actually never had the chance to actually meet in person. So we met those three. I'm sorry. And then for the rest of Friday, we left Con. We went to get food. We went to In-N-Out. It was the first In-N-Out experience for some people. We also went to a Japanese market that has a small. It's like a small chain here in the U.S. But I'm familiar with the one in Chicago, so it's like I always get curious about finding these other small ones in other areas, just to see how they compare to the one that we have in Chicago. And I still think the one that we have is by far better than any of the ones that I've been to outside of Chicago. Anyway, so we go get some snackies. We go get In-N-Out. In-N-Out was a painful parking process. Because everyone was going there, and that parking lot was tiny. And yeah, it was worth it though. everyone had their good burgers, their good fries. Some of us got shakes. It was good stuff. We went back Friday night. We played some more games. We had some more drinks. And Flip and Eon and Momo came by to play some of those games with us. So they were around for a few hours. And Friday night was also another adventure in parking where it took me another 40 minutes. Yes, 40 minutes to find parking to go. And yeah, I think I parked a little over half a mile away this time. It was on a main drag, but it was well north of our house and whatnot. So that was that day. But we made it work. We made it work. So that was the end of Friday. Saturday rolls around. Again, we all get up. We get excited. We get ready to go. We go to the convention center. And we get in. First thing we do for Saturday was... What did we do first thing this Saturday again? I think we went around... went around the convention center for a bit again. One of the big things we knew was happening that day was Zentrea was doing a live walk around with Joel and with several other streamers. So it's like, first of all, if you're a fan of Joel, we were hoping to see Joel at TwitchCon in person this past weekend. Because some things fell through for him, he wasn't actually at TwitchCon. So we had to find different ways. But Joel went around with Zen on Saturday. They first went to see Matara, but they were having connection issues from inside. So nobody really got the chance to do a whole lot of the meet and greet with Zen and gang because I think they were having so many issues that day. I just remember waiting for a little bit because we found out where they were. And it was getting close to a meet and greet that I was going to, which we'll talk about here in a second. And we're over by Mata's meet and greet spot in her booth. And, Zen and Joel and them go up to talk to Mata, and that's when they have the connection issues. And by the time they finally fixed it, it was like, crap, I got to get in line for this meet and greet. And maybe they'll still be going afterwards. Joel had to stream, so he dropped off of that walk around. But you know what? There was another opportunity coming the next day, which we'll get to when we go to Sunday. The meet and greet that I had on Saturday was with Nags and with Chibidoki. The meet and greet. I thought the meet and greet process, first of all, for TwitchCon was pretty simple, straightforward and whatnot. They had a lottery prior to the convention. I want to say it was like a week or two before the convention that you had to jump in. You had to give your top 3 of who you want to go see for meet and greets, and they basically went through like you could say a lottery system more or less. Nags and Chibidoki were the ones that I only got for the meet and greet because I also put in Rose Doodle. And I also put in the entirety of Vichiban in there because Vichiban was doing a meet and greet as a whole as well. So Shia, Buff, Candy, and Rose. But I didn't get those two. So I did get Nags and Chibi, which I was absolutely excited about. I watch Nags often. Nags is someone I enjoy watching because I got hooked into Nags originally because it was like they talked about sports, but then I also knew that they were like really big into VTubers, and the community kind of transformed him from just like this sports guy to liking anime, to liking streamers, to liking VTubers, stuff like that. So Nags is a nice jack of all trades. If you haven't had the chance to watch Nags, be prepared for a lot of yelling, but he does a lot of community interaction. He's also a IRL streamer too. So I had the chance. We got in line. I got in I call it the pre line because they allowed you to line up just outside of where you walk in for the meet and greet. So there was like a pre line, And then there was the line inside the meet and greet area where they kind of stage you until you go to your specific line. So I got the pre line, walked in, scanned my wristband, got in the pre-line, and then eventually got to Nags and Chibi's line. I was like 15 people back. I got there early enough to the point where it was like, I really, really wanted to meet at least one of the streamers that I watched this weekend. So I got there early enough, got a good spot in line. So we all eventually get in line. This specific meet and greet starts at 2:30. So we were in the actual line at about 2:10, 2:15, somewhere around there. And 2:30 comes around, and you start seeing streamers from other meet and greets starting to come to their booth. And you're hearing the cheers of everyone coming out, and we're just waiting there still because Nags and Chibi haven't come out yet. So we're waiting, and we're waiting a little bit. Some of us started joking in line that, oh, it's Nags. Nags is always late to his streams, so maybe he's just doing it on his Nags time and whatnot. And then somebody's like scrolling on Twitter, and Chibi made a tweet. Apparently, Chibi was going through some things, to which eventually I found out her wristband was not allowing her in to the meet and greet section. What's up, Bob? How you doing? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well, bud. So Chibi was having some issue. Yeah, Teebs time, exactly. Let's just say Nags has worse Teebs time than Teebs has Teebs time. But that's probably why I also relate to Nags a lot, because we both have that issue where it's like, hey, we're going to be here at this time, and then we're here, 40 minutes later. Anyway. Yeah, so apparently Chibi had some issues, and it was one of those where the staff would not let her back because her wristband was having these issues. And Chibi's pretty well known. It got to the point where Nags had to go back and help her in and explain, hey, she's who she is. And then they finally got there. So it was probably about 25 minutes before they finally came out. Everyone was really, really excited. I do feel bad, though, because they came out late. They had to cut their session short, from what I understand. Again, there was a good bit of drama in the background with some streamers this past weekend. I wasn't going to touch too much on the drama that happened. Basically, so Friday night, the streamer Emiru was more or less assaulted by a congoer that somehow got through past all the TwitchCon staff. There was a video circulating. If you haven't seen it, it might pop up for you sometime. But basically, some guy got through all of TwitchCon staff, got to the front of the meet and greets, dashed through down, and tried to more or less forcibly kiss Emiru. Until Emiru's personal bodyguard came up and literally shoved him away. To what I understand, Twitch was originally going to give the guy a 30-day ban, but then it got pushed by Emiru's manager to get like a permaban, more or less. And I believe that actually all went through. I didn't really keep up with too much of the drama. That's kind of the Cliff Notes version of it, but that's what happened for that day. And again, we just explained what happened with Chibi for Saturday. Anyway, going back to the story, actually, we're going to pause that story because we're going to our ad break real quick. So if you guys want to hang on for 90 seconds, those of you not subbed, we'll be back in 90 seconds. Those of you that are subbed or are not subject to ads, as my eye is... There we go. See, Anska, I have a couple of light theories. Now, this is not to discount anything that happened or anything. I know that as someone who has staffed a lot of conventions, you do still have some limitations onto what you can do. Whether or not there were those types of limitations on the staff for TwitchCon, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, it was definitely a good thing that she did have her bodyguard with her, because you saw no TwitchCon staff come up and try to stop it. This was literally her own guard coming up and shoving this guy away, more or less. I think as like line staff, I don't think you are able to do something like that, but I guess there was a lot of things of, TwitchCon staff didn't even come to help her. They didn't come to check in on her. Nobody from Twitch higher ups came to check in on her. Stuff like that. But again, we'll get back to that here in a second. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great night. Thanks for sticking around through ads. If you are subbed, I appreciate you being a subby. I know things have been so far and few in between over the last few months. For those of you that have stayed sub, I really, really, really appreciate you. You guys are amazing. I mean, I've told you guys so many times, if you want to take your subs elsewhere for the time being, feel free. But those of you that are still on board, I appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you. All right. And welcome back from ad break. Let's go back over here real quick. Yeah, going back on the whole thing with Emiru, again, real quick. I'm pretty sure, if anything, it's probably one of those things where, again, con staff has their like limitations of what they can and cannot do. I know a lot of times you're told not to put your hands on people or anything like that. I would think this would be one of those situations where it's like, you would think somebody would have stepped in from the convention, but nobody came to her aid, even remotely quickly, it seems like. But going back on Chibi and Nags, kind of filtering through the line a little bit. Chibi is one that does not want her picture taken, by the way. So if you ever meet Chibi moving forward at conventions or somehow recognize her in public, she is very, very, very camera shy. And it's for the security of her family, from what I understand. So she tries to stray away from any cameras whatsoever. Even she was wearing a mask. She was wearing a hat, a bucket hat. So you really, if you never seen that before from her, you wouldn't even know it's Chibi. But Chibi doesn't allow pictures for a lot of reasons. But eventually, kind of weasel our way through up. I finally get my chance to come up and talk with Nags and Chibi. And we talked for a couple of minutes. It was honestly a very, very awesome interaction. I go up and talk to them, say, hey, you guys are amazing. I enjoy all of, the content you guys put out. Nags, I kind of explained real quick, how I started getting involved in his community. Told him I came over with a raid with Joel one day, and I think it was after they did their porcelain parlor night, or their date night, or their interview night, where they did a charcuterie board, basically. I remember being out of state for work that weekend and was having kind of an iffy time on that work trip. So anyway, Joel raided over to Nags, and Nags started talking about baseball and stuff, and I was like, oh, boom, follow, and kind of figured out that that was kind of my big push for Nags. And given a lot of the interaction he has with his chat, I just love the community that Nags has built up. So I told him, hey, I appreciate you. And I looked at Chibi. I was like, Chibi, you are amazing just as well. You both make me laugh a lot. When you guys have your Piss Boys collabs, it makes me giggle so much. Like, the bad day could turn into a really, really good day. River, welcome on in. How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by. We're just going through some TwitchCon stories and showing off some awesome merch. I got more merch that's coming up, but welcome on in. Appreciate you stopping by. Well, caved and got in a robot because every bus is packed full, sardine can full. I don't blame you there, D. Be safe getting home, please. So as we're kind of going through our slight conversation, I kind of tell them, you guys were part of the inspiration for a lot of help for streaming and stuff like that. And then they both noticed, they're like, hey, you got a pretty good voice. Have you ever thought about doing any sort of like screening or voiceovers and stuff like that? I was like, no, I haven't really gotten into that yet. And I kind of, went into, I was on radio for a while, and I do, sports announcing. I've been doing that for a long time. And, they're like, yeah, if you ever find your chance or your way to, do something like that, you definitely should. So hearing, I've told you guys many, many times that I am a very, I don't do it on purpose, but I tend to be very, very harsh on myself sometimes. I don't like hearing my own voice. I think the sound of my voice is bad at times. Trust me, I know I should know that it's not because of the experience and the jobs and stuff that I've taken, and all of you have said, yeah, you're fine, blah, 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 blah. Trust me, I am just a very terrible, terrible critic on myself. But to hear now from, like, streamers that I have a very, very good, that I watch a lot. River, thank you so much for the follow. And if there's anything else that you'd like to be called by, River, by the way, I'm just going kind of by the start of your name there. If there's anything you'd like to be called by, please let me know. So hearing that from two very well-known, very legit streamers saying you have a really good voice and stuff like that, that really hit very, very hard for me, in a good way, obviously. What made that interaction very special for me? Okay. If you did one of the meet and greets at TwitchCon, like, let's say this is the table here, they had like this little path that went to the left or to the right. This one went to the left, and you went back behind the pipe and drape that was behind all the meet and greets, and they basically had this big path behind all the meet and greets where people would exit out of, and then you go like down this end over here to get back into the convention center space. Again, what made this interaction really special for me was as I'm walking away, I hear Chibi in the corner of my ear, and still in earshot. She looks over at Nags and says, "That guy was really cool." I was like, guys, I had the most high-pitched squeak inside. I didn't let it out, but I was just like, I was so excited to hear that. That literally made my day, to hear a streamer that I really, really enjoy compliment me and it was an indirect compliment as I'm walking away. I got super excited to hear something like that. Speaking of Nags and Chibi, they had these cards that they were handing out as everyone came up. They both signed it. They also signed my badge as well. So that was a fun takeaway. It was one of those where I wish I could have gotten a picture with them, but again, I know Chibi is very camera shy for a good reason. I was kind of hoping that I'd find Nags just kind of wandering around during the convention. Unfortunately, did not. But maybe one day. But anyway, got the chance to meet these two. Again, if you love chaotic, if you love that gremlin energy, Chibi's definitely one to watch. Nags is another one that's just absolutely chaotic, but both really, really fun to watch. Can turn around a day pretty quick. Went to a couple more panels that day. Learned a few other things through workshops and whatnot. Got some more stickers, actually, because I had to go back upstairs, and I was walking with Tsunami and Dio around the artist alley for a while, and we came upon some more artists, and I like getting peeker stickers for my car. I love showing off my weebness on my car. One side of my car is VTubers, the other side's like Demon Slayer and Haikyuu, basically. But I found some peeker stickers that we were looking at, and it's some more stickers that are going to go on my car eventually here pretty soon. This artist I cannot, unfortunately, remember off the top of my head, so I do apologize to said artist. You two I'm going to move off over here for right now. But I found some more peeker stickers, so we got another one of Joel. We got another one of Lily as well. A good chunk of my merch was both Joel and Lily from this weekend. So we got those. And then the last one, which I was excited to find because I hadn't seen any art of this streamer up until this point. And that's of Roy Kiato. When I saw that, I was like, I've got to get that right away. Because it's the only piece of merch in the artist alley that I saw of Roy. Roy is a Bunny Boy VTuber, loves coffee. I know he had model changes recently as well. Also big into Power Rangers and Super Sentai as well. So if that is kind of up your alley, I recommend to go watch Roy. Just a very calm guy to watch too. I know he's been doing a lot of games lately where it's like he's playing them until he finishes them. I think Resident Evil's kind of been one of the big ones for him. Let's see what else happened on Saturday. Wait, what? Wait, what? What are we waiting? What? Did I have anything else under here? No, I did not have anything else under there. Thank you, Norena. There's another one that you can shout out. Again, Roy's a good one to go watch. He usually streams late at night. I think it's typically 10 o'clock Eastern time, I believe. A lot of his streams are. Any of these streamers, any of these artists, go check them out. All fantastic people. All fantastic artists as well. Saturday also... Yeah, Saturday was also the day that I got to meet another streamer, and this person's also a mod for many different streamers as well. Mods for Joel, mods for Nags, mods for Ray as well. And actually, her sticker is on the back of my... Because I got a literal pile of stickers. So the one I am talking about is... Her name is Glasses. Their tag here on Twitch is Glasses Journal. And she had mentioned something on Twitter to me. She's like, "You need to come find me. I got gifts. I got gifts." So I had to go find Glasses. I went around once. She mentioned where they were at, and then I couldn't find them the first time, so I went back and met up with Dio and Tsunami. I was like, I am getting really, really hungry. So I ended up getting a Frito Pie or a walking taco in the artist alley. But then I finally find Glasses. Because Glasses was like, I'm still here, which was next to the partner lounge on the other side of the artist alley. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go find them. And not only did I get all these stickers of not only themselves but also Ray. So there's Glasses, there's Ray. Here's more of Glasses as well. I also got this ribbon, this Live, Laugh, and Let's Play. That's Ray's tagline, Let's Play. So I got to meet Glasses for a bit. Glasses is another wonderful person. Glasses is another wonderful streamer as well. If you like chill vibes, Glasses usually streams in the morning. I think they were playing Pokemon ZA this morning. I also got some more stickers from them, like this one and this one and this one as well. That's stickers of Eon, by the way. Our good friend Eon. So we got a bunch of stickers from Glasses. Had the chance to talk with them for a little bit. Again, very upfront, very approachable, super duper nice. So it was good to meet somebody else. And Glasses was a good example. I think Glasses was one that I was happy to meet because I tune into a lot of Glasses streams. We watch a lot of common streamers as well, or she mods at least for a lot of common streamers that I watch. But again, they are just very wholesome, very nice. They were just very sweet to meet as well, and a good conversationalist. So got a lot of different stickers from Glasses. I'll give them a shout real quick. Glasses journal. There's Glasses. So yeah, Glasses will play a lot of. They play a lot of Stardew as well, but they are very wholesome, very comfy streamers. So we go through the rest of Saturday. That exhaustion's starting to kind of catch up to us a little bit. So we had plans at the house that night to cook. So I message Zepp and Narina. I'm like, hey, I'm getting kind of tired. The rest of the folks that came in the car, they're starting to get a little tired. Are you guys okay with skipping the last panel we were going to go to? And they were good with it. So we jump in my car, we leave, we make a couple of stops on the way back. So Zepp and Narina were coming over, and later we also had, I think it was just Momo that came by Saturday, if I remember. No, I think it was just Momo that came by Saturday as well. But Mona, Zepp, and myself had planned a potluck. Originally, it was like, hey, we should cook for one another or whatever it is. And originally, we thought maybe we'll cook 2 of the nights. But eventually, the idea turned into, hey, why don't we just all get together at our Airbnb and we'll have a potluck. So what ended up, yeah, that Ray. So we all get together back at our Airbnb. Mona and Soku only went for Friday of TwitchCon. They had like a nice little vacation day around the city on Saturday. So they were awesome. They went shopping and picked up some stuff, and got basically the house ready for us to come back, cook, do stuff like that. Did I personally see Ray? No, I did not. Personally, I did not see Ray. I ran into Glasses so much after that meeting, after meeting her on Saturday, but I personally did not run into Ray. I think the times that Glasses was waiting outside of Partner was waiting for Ray, if I had to guess. That's only a guess on my end, if that's what was going on. But I don't think I did not meet Ray personally. No. Let me just do that real quick. Give me a second here, guys. I'm just fixing something up real quick. I think it would have been awesome to meet Ray, but yeah, I did not meet Ray myself. So we went back. We ate some great food. Zepp made hamburgers that night. We originally were going to do. He was going to grill out originally. Then we came to find out that the grills out back of the Airbnb, you had to get your own coals because they had charcoal and they had gas. we didn't realize that we needed to bring our own coals until we actually saw the rules down on the grill when we went down there. So we didn't have any charcoal. We were already back from driving around, and Mona was very, very helpful Saturday by helping us all get princess parking. So she double parked out front of the house. So when we got home, all she had to do was move her car up, and then I could pull in behind her. Nice little trick if you live in a very, very packed area, if you have friends coming over. Double park. And this is parallel parking, by the way, so you could use the excuse, well, there was somebody in front of me and somebody behind me before that, so blame the person behind me and blame the person in front of me for not parking close enough. Anyway, Mona did that little trick there, so that way we had some easy parking access when we got back. So it came down to we did not grill out because we did not have coal, and we did not have gas. Supposedly, the Airbnb was supposed to have gas because down by the grills they said, "Hey, if the gas is out, let us know." There were no propane tanks downstairs, so Zepp ended up pan frying his burgers with basically he brought a jar of Hatch green chilies from New Mexico, so we had green chili cheeseburgers. I made mac and cheese, pretty simple mac and cheese with some American, some Gouda, and some cheddar. Used shells on it. Mona made her gumbo, which was amazing, by the way. Had some chicken, some sausage in it. It was so good. And some really good spices and seasonings in it. It filled you up pretty quick. Soku did something that I really enjoyed, actually, because I've never seen it made this way. She made a spam musubi bake. So took a pan, layered rice in there, then layered spam on top of it, and then put some seaweed garnish and stuff on top of that. It was really, really good. I will say, it was good Saturday night. It was even better Monday and Monday morning for breakfast, because I took the spam musubi, threw it in the microwave, heated it up, fried an egg, and then threw the egg on top, poked open the yolks so that yolk could penetrate down into the to the spam musubi. It was so good. So that's what we had for that night. And that basically gave us food for the rest of the weekend, because we ate the leftovers Sunday night and finished everything off as much as we could on Monday morning. But again, that was a great night. I think a lot of people had just good time, just kind of talking with each other that night. That's what it really came down to. Was there was a little group of people talking here, there was a group of people talking here, there was a group of people talking outside, stuff like that. Just a lot of fellowship, basically, you could say, was Saturday night, and really good food. Everyone kind of went their separate ways, probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And comes Sunday. Unfortunately, Mona and Soku had to leave that morning. So they left, I think, just before 9 o'clock. We had to say our goodbyes to them. It was sad to see them leave. It was like, shoot, this is kind of how it starts. Everyone's starting to go their separate ways. We still had a day at con, but it just kind of sucked that two of the people that we had in the house all weekend that we've seen since Thursday had to leave. Understandable, though, because they had a very long drive ahead of them. So we all kind of get ready. Sunday, I leave early. Tsunami stayed home to rest up a little bit because they weren't feeling all the best Sunday morning. So Dio left with me. We went and picked up Zepp and Arena on the way. We got to the convention center early because we me, Zep, and Narina we're going to get in line for a meet and greet with Shia Bun. Shia was doing a personal meet and greet at the U2's booth Sunday morning. So we wanted to get there at a decent time. We wanted to get in line to go meet Shia. I think we got there early enough because we were like 4, 5, and 6 in line, I think, if I remember correctly. We were one of the first people to go see Shia. The other thing that U2's was doing on Sunday was they were raffling off a 2-foot version of Shia's chat mascot, the Shit Boy, which is a pink rabbit. That's basically about it. It's a pink rabbit. Narina, I think you've got the emotes for Shia if you want to show off Shit Boy. Wow. What's up, Kotaro? How you doing, bud? Welcome on in. So we got in line. We wanted to Shit Boy the bunny. Yeah. Our precious little Shit Boy. So we got there. We got our raffle tickets to hopefully win the 2-foot Shit Boy, which they held a little bit later. There he is. But then we had the chance to go up and meet Shia. And first up was Zep. We all went up separately. So Zep goes up and talks to Shia for a little bit. And towards the end of it, first of all, I got really jealous. I'm still jealous of this, by the way. So Zep is starting to finish up his meet and greet there with Shia. And he admits to Shia that he doesn't have any of Shia's merch to give to him to sign, so he was going to give him his badge to sign. And then, I guess Shia looked him dead in the eye. He's like, "You want something?" He's like, and Zep was like, "Sure." And then you see Shia like do this little left and right. He turns around. He's got a bag behind him. What does he pull out? He pulls out a small Shit Boy and gives it to Zep. Just one of the plushies that you can not get anymore. If you've ever gotten anything from U2's, a lot of their streamer or VTuber plushies are limited time, where you have like, I think it's like a 3-week window, 2 or 3 week window to order something. And if you don't get it, then they're gone, basically. But yeah, Shia just turns around and pulls out a brand new small Shit Boy plush. And just I watched the exchange. Turns around, grabs it, puts it up on the table in front of Zep, and just slides it across. That's it. And I think Zep opened it up, got Shia to sign it. I think he signed the foot or something. And Shia also signed Zep's blockhead plushie that he was getting signed by many people this past weekend. So, Zep, whatever riz you did to Shia, I am very jealous of. Because I missed out on the opportunity to get a Shit Boy by like a day. It was like the Shit Boy pre-orders were ending the day before I got I got paid earlier this year, so I was like, crap, I missed out on a Shit Boy. So that's why I was really, really hoping to win the 2-foot Shit Boy. Speaking of Shia, by the way, how about another peeker to throw out here? This peeker, I believe, was also done by the same artist that did these stickers, because they were also doing Vichibon lanyards, which I haven't shown off yet. Tune in next month when I'm on Vici Banter. Man, Zep's getting on Vici Banter already? So, same artist. Stickers. I got this peeker because I'm going to get a big old Shia on the side of my car. They did these Vichibon lanyards as well. So, I got one of Rose. Rose is a fun little gremlin artist. Real fun to watch. She's also on in the morning. And then also with where my badge is now, that's where I got Shia as well. And they are in their outfits from Stardust Skate in these. I got that peeker sticker when I bought a standee a while ago. Nice. It's just a little cute guy right here. A little cutie. Oh, we're in ad break. I'm not going to put up the ad break screen this time. I'm just going to keep on yapping. But I'm not going to keep on yapping about TwitchCon until we get back to back off the ad break. So I'm actually going to take a little drink of my gamer subs here. Again, the gamer subs flavor that I got right now is, as I move all the little things out of the way, it's caffeine-free Bowberry. I ended up getting a lot of, I guess I ended up getting a lot of Booba tins this weekend, unintentionally, by the way. It was more for the flavor, just like we say it's more for the plot. But Bowberry's, first time I'm having it, really, really good. We also got Buff Puff's Doggy Style, which I really wanted to get signed by her, but her line was very long for the meet and greet at Gamer Subs, so we didn't get the chance to do that. Had to go with the good classic Blowhole Blast. And then BBL, Blueberry Lemonade 1. And Gamer Subs, if you're watching, I mean, I know this is not a sponsored stream, but hey, if you got that slot open, I would talk you guys up for a long time. But anyway, yeah, welcome back from Ad Jail, everybody, as we continue talking about our meet and greet here. So yeah, I got those two from that guy right there. It's trying to make room here so you can at least still see that QR code just in case you want to scan that. So anyway, we keep going. Zep gets done. He walks away happily with his shit boy. Narena goes up next. Narena has a nice little exchange with Shia. And then it's my turn. And like with every streamer that I met this past weekend, I'm like thinking of all the different things I would like to talk about, and then, you know, you just kind of clam up. You get super shy. But I go up to Shia and say, hey, you know, Shia, I appreciate you. You do a great job. One thing I told Shia, and I mentioned Roy when I was talking to Shia as well, because both of them are very openly queer, and I told them that they've helped me become a lot more open with myself, a lot more comfortable with myself, and like that. So I had to tell Shia, hey, I appreciate you guys for being like that, and you know, thanks for the you know, the little push of encouragement at times, just from them being themselves, more or less. But I told him, you know, it's like I enjoy his streams, I enjoy his singing, because if you've never listened to Shia, Shia is very, very musically talented. He's got several singles. I think they're all on Spotify. Shia just has a beautiful, beautiful singing voice. But it was fun to meet Shia. Shia also, excuse me, signed my badge. So he was the only other signature I got from the weekend. But it was just good to get the chance to meet some people. But after meeting Shia, that's when I was like, oh, maybe I'll go see Buff and get in her line. That's when we found out. I should have went to that line a little bit sooner than I did, but we had a couple panels to go to, so I didn't get the chance to get down there until later. And by that time, it was out the exhibitor door, around the corner of the hall, and I had some other things I wanted to do. Actually, the big thing that was happening that day was Joel was doing another walk around with Zen and a couple others, so I wanted to try and meet Joel, and we also had like an unofficial community meetup of the Blockheads as well. Going back on Shia real quick, actually, what was really cool right before the meet and greet started, it's like maybe Buff will be with Shia for his meet and greet, and while we're waiting in line, we see Buff walk by with Shia to get ready for the meet and greet. So it's like, oh, sweet. Maybe Buff's going to stick around. I was like, okay, I can kill two birds with one stone, talk to Buff at the same time, and maybe get my tub sign that I got of Doggy Style. But then, like, 2 minutes later, she's walking away with Candy. It was awesome to at least see Buff and Candy from a distance. I know Rose was here this past weekend as well, but if you've ever watched Rose is also another one that's very, very shy, very anxious about crowds, so you might not actually see Rose, or if Rose is actually out and about, you might not know it's Rose. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to go see Buff because I wanted to. We had our unofficial meetup with Joel's community. So after that, we went back up into Artist Alley. It was getting close to meeting time. I went and joined Zepp a little bit for the VTuber community meetup. Zepp, I remember running into him through that meet and greet, and he beat somebody in oversized chess. To which I told him, I was like, dang, if I knew you were a chess player, I would have played you a few weeks ago when we were at Pit Pot and stuff like that. So, Zepp, next time we get together, we're playing chess. We meet up there, and Zepp's met some people. I kind of perused through the little hall that they had the meet and greet in, both inside and outside. I'm doing one of these things where I'm looking down, I'm looking at people's badges, because it's like all I'm looking for are like names. It's like, okay, who do I notice and stuff like that. So I keep looking around. And it's like, okay, am I noticing anybody? Am I gonna recognize a name? First time we played chess against another person in a long while. Well, we'll do it again. We will do it again. Or if we find a way to do it online too, why the heck not? We can play chess online.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Firearm, welcome on in, buddy. How you doing? Welcome on in, Raiders. Hope you guys are having a good night. Welcome. We're doing some TwitchCon recap right now. We're getting close to the end of the trip. We're just talking about Sunday right now. Hey, hope you had a safe TwitchCon, because God knows Twitch didn't make it. Oof. Yeah, we talked about a little bit of the drama that's been going on at TwitchCon earlier. Yeah, there's a lot of shady stuff that happened in the back. But avoiding that chat a little bit for the most part, because I wasn't directly, obviously not directly involved in any of that. And I didn't necessarily have a bad TwitchCon experience, but I know a lot of people did, and I feel bad for everyone who did have a bad experience there that weekend. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background at TwitchCon. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. Raiders that came over with Firearm. If you don't know me, my name's Teebs. I am a former radio show host now turned VTuber. Do a lot of chill vibes like this, but also I'm a variety streamer, so we play a lot of games. But my big thing is I like to bring these positive airwaves to your watchful and listening ears. So welcome on in. Firearm, hope you did well. Looks like you were playing some Dragon Quest Remake. Nice. I have not touched Dragon Quest since it was not a remake, so a long time ago. I've been thinking about getting it, though. But hope you had a good stream. If you guys have to raid and run, no worries. I understand. Go get some food, go rest, go get some drinks, whatever you need to do to de-stream. Much appreciate you bringing your community by, and thanks for stopping by, and go sports, because cheering on for the Mariners in the World Series, and I'm sorry, not the Mariners. Woof, that if you're a fan of Seattle, I am so sorry. Go Blue Jays, go Blue Jays. Gosh, again, if you're a Seattle fan, my dearest apologies for that. That was not a rip at you, I promise. Honestly, it was Seattle that I wanted to win that game, but I still had Seattle on the mind. But yeah, TwitchCon was a good experience for me. So we're going through Sunday right now. So yeah, we got to the point of the day where we all have our Exactly, Kotaro. I played with the dragons before it was a quest. When I went through the main hall, it smelled like devil's lettuce, to be honest. First of all, Kotaro, what the heck? You were at TwitchCon and you didn't say anything? Heck. Would have been awesome to meet you. But yeah, there were a couple times where it was getting a little smelly with that, and you know, every convention kind of has their people that you know that haven't showered in a few days, or probably ever since they got there. It wasn't as bad as I've ever experienced at a convention, but it was just like every now and then, yeah, you went by somebody, it was like, that doesn't smell good. So, anyway, we get back up to Artist Alley. We go through the VTuber community meetup, have a good time with that. Then we start slowly making our way over towards the Artist Alley. Did we go to a panel in between that? I can't remember if we actually went to a panel between the VTuber meetup and the Blockheads meetup. It's been a weird couple of months, sort of went last. Oh, gotcha. Well, I hope you at least had a good time. Again, I'm hearing mixed things. Somebody had a good time. Somebody didn't have such a good time. But I hope you yourself had a good time. So we get back over towards Artist Alley, where Joel's mod Sen gets a little Discord thing out there saying, "Hey, we're actually doing this meetup." Originally, I don't think there was a planned meetup. I remember going to Anna Saturday and being like, "Hey, is there any sort of like unofficial meetup for Joel's community this weekend?" And she's like, "No, but if you want to technically put one together, just put a bug in the ear in Discord, and we'll get one out there for you." So we all met outside of Deer Bit's booth first, and then we kind of went off to the side for a little bit. We knew that Joel was walking around with Zen again, but they started up in the Artist Alley, which they had a lot better connection this time around. So we just kind of perused around the Artist Alley for a bit, and eventually we saw where they were at, and they were coming down. Me and Flip were, as Joel put it, okay, these are Joel's words, okay? After the little group meet that we had and he saw us on there, Flip and I, for a while, we were holding up our Joel plushies. I had the child, which, hold on, let me get them for example for you real quick. Ugh. So Joel has two plushies, okay? One is one you can still buy off his shop. The other is a U2's plushie that is no longer in production. But me, I was holding up the regular child. So I was holding this guy straight up in the air with my right arm. It was more or less the beacon of, hey, if you're with this group, this is where we're at. I was holding up the child. Flip, on the other hand, was holding up the Blockhead plush. Look at this cute guy. I gave him my wristband here, so he's got a little ascot for himself. For the rest of you, he can wear this. He's slaying right now. So Flip was holding this little guy up the entire time. So we kept everyone moving around. Nuggies. Ooh, nuggies sound pretty good. Oh, well, actually, I'll show that off in a second because I got that after the meetup. So we went around Artist Alley. People got to see parts of the Artist Alley that they haven't seen all weekend. So it was like we were trying to keep our distance with the person that was taking around Zen stream and whatnot. And eventually, it was one of those. We were getting ready, and then the guy that was carrying him around said, "Hey, we're trying to get out of the sun, so go find a little shady spot that you guys can all group up in." So we went to the end of this end of the aisle here, And we all grouped up in a little shady spot between the end of that aisle, and there was like an outdoor patio that had some pizza and some outdoor concerts and stuff like that. So we all grouped up, and it's like we all just got ready, and we saw them come out. They were talking to a couple people right there, kind of moving them around. Yeah, exactly, a very shady meetup. Eventually, it got to the point where, he knew where the person that was walking around Zen knew we were at. He knew that we were all part of Joel's community, and we were excited to meet him because he wasn't there this weekend. It was disappointing, but understandable. He had circumstances, he couldn't make it. I guess if I understand correct, some things that were supposed to happen didn't happen, and it kind of fell through for him, basically, so he didn't make it out. I'm just glad that he had the chance to virtually see things for a couple of days. Anyway, it comes around, and there we are. A group of, I want to say there were about 12 of us. And we're all holding up our plushies. We're all, like, waving. We're all saying hi. We have a fun little interaction. It wasn't like everyone had the chance to go up and say hi and say who they were. It was just kind of one of those, we're here. We're excited to see you. We're upset that we didn't see you in person here this weekend, but we're still enjoying ourselves. We're still having a good time. We're still showing that we love you, and we wish you were here. Basically, one of those things. And I think that little interaction was maybe about 2 minutes or so. But we all turned around. We all got next to where the iPad was. Some of us off to the left, some of us off to the right. And we all took a group photo with everybody. Actually, I got to reach out to Eon to see if they can send me that photo. But it was a nice little time. I know Joel was very happy to see everybody. Part of me, I mentioned this in Glass's stream earlier when I was watching them. It was like I thought about going off after a little bit and trying to find them again. But it was I was like, I didn't want to feel too greedy about saying, I was in that group, and now I wanted to come actually say hi to you. But I also know I wasn't sure how to approach it, because I knew it was technically Zen's stream. It was technically Zen's walk around. Now, not the first time I've met Zen on one of those types of meetups. Zen was at Anime Central earlier this year, and they were walking around with Cotton and Lime. That was the first time I met Zen, and I was also carrying around Joel's plushie at that time. I think there was one other person in that meetup, or in that walk around when they were at ASEN. But anyway, it was like I had thought about going to let it kind of cool off for a little bit, and by this time I was just tired. We all kind of went and sat around a table. So it was me, it was Zep, it was Fuser, it was Flip, it was Eon, it was Forrest Sapin, which, by the way, Forrest went around our table and gave us all our V cards. He came around and gave everybody a V card because they were all Joel V cards, and I got a Blockhead V card, which I like it's the ability that says if the active world is grass, so we have to be touching grass while we're using this card, +1 PLT or evolved VTubers. So I thought that was kind of a nice little gift that Forrest gave to everybody that was kind of going around for the meet and greet and the little unofficial Blockheads meetup. So that's my first V card that I got. And GamerSubs was selling V cards that weekend. I did not want to. I knew if I started spending money on V cards that I'd go broke very, very quick. So after that, it was kind of like one of those things where we were just all getting real tired. We had one more workshop that we wanted to go to, so me and Zep and Narina, we went and met up with Dee and a few other people for this final workshop that we wanted to see. It was all about subathons, basically, and like best practices for subathons, what you need to do for them and stuff like that. Again, we took a lot of notes this past weekend, so there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to be trying to work on here and there. Me explaining to my parents that I got my V card whilst drinking Buff Puff's doggy style gamer subs. V card and doggy style. This was the first time I actually ever bought doggy style. Had it for the first time today. I love it. It's good stuff. And then after that, we kind of do one little last peruse of the downstairs. I went through the Artist Alley so many times this past weekend. There was one other booth that I wanted to go see, and it was the Voice Mods booth. And I went there because I am looking to do something eventually relating around a redeem that we're going to be working on for future streams. But we went through there. I got a nice little a demo of how the software works. I actually got to go look at it a little bit more and see if I can see if there's like a free version or something, more or less. But the guy gave me a nice little demo. Had the chance to try the software a lot. Honestly, it's given me a lot of ideas. At the end of the day, I got a couple free things from there. Did get some, I think it was like a sticker. I also got this little clicky key, which has been pretty much hooked to my phone, more or less. I've been putting it on my phone here. So anytime I've been walking around since con, I've just been clicking this thing. I love things like this. So this is like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be getting more little clicky keys moving forward. I like doing the clickies. Yes, exactly. Stimming. Here we go. Here you go. You like the clicky stims? There's your clicky stims. They also had little bags that they were giving away. Basically, they say, I speak fluent blank. There were 3 options for these. There was, I speak fluent chat. There was, I speak fluent uwu. I got the uwu one first. And then our friend Animative got, I speak fluent furry. Originally, again, I had the uwu bag. But then Animative got this one. And he went back up and he's like, hey, can I exchange this for a I speak fluent uwu bag? And I'm like, I'll just trade you real quick. So I got the furry bag instead of the uwu bag. And then from there, that was kind of the end of our TwitchCon. We went over to the arcade for a little bit, played a couple games for, I don't know, like 15 minutes. We also wanted to go back to the official merch store and see if we could find some... I know Dee was looking for the water bottle, or like a cup or a water bottle or something, and unfortunately could not find it. I didn't really care to get like a shirt or a hoodie, although some of the people that were on our flight back home the other night were wearing the... yeah, you could say they're kind of in that same little genre there, Kotaro. You got your subtle differences between uwu and furry, but I'm sure there's a lot of similarities too between uwu and furry. So we went back to the merch booth. We were looking at some of the shirts. Shirts were a little pricey. The hoodies were a little pricey. I had already spent enough money on Artist Alley and other merch for the weekend that I did not want to throw out another small amount of money for for shirts because I think shirts were going for like 40, the hoodies were going for like 70, 75, and they had some ball caps as well that were going for like 30, I think. But they didn't have any of the cups or anything like that. So I figured, you know what, I got GamerSup's TwitchCon cups, so that's good enough for me. Then we went through the arcade. You didn't even look at merch. The one merch booth that I actually kind of paid attention to was Thursday. After you picked up badges and wristbands, they had that merch table just inside the hall there. And originally I was like, maybe I'll come back and get a pillow, or maybe I'll come back and get a water bottle or something. And I'm assuming that they either sold out or that merch table was still over there in the pickup hall. But we were just so tired we didn't want to do that. So yeah, we start walking out. We say our goodbyes to TwitchCon. And we go back to the Airbnb. It's EP time. Good night, Gabby. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for sticking around. Much appreciate you, friends. We'll talk to you soon. So we all get back in the car. And we drop Zepp and Narina off at their respective hotel, and we say, hey, if you guys are interested, come join us later. I think we're just going to be kind of relaxing and whatnot. Because honestly, we got back to our Airbnb, and what did we do? What were we doing that night? Honestly, we got back, we had a little food, we had some of our leftovers, and we just relaxed. Dee and Animative were going to meet up with some of their friends for a karaoke night, so they went off and did that. So left at the Airbnb was me, Dio, Tsunami, Zepp, and Narina. We just kind of chatted for the rest of the night, and just had a nice little time. And from there, they got their Uber back to their hotel. We just kind of relaxed the rest of the night, started to pack up, got everything together for the most part that night, and eventually went to bed, because Animative had the first flight out of everybody. So we got up at 5. I got up with him at 5:45 in the morning to take him back to the airport, because they had I think it was like an 8 or 8:30 flight. So took them to the airport, came back to the house, slept for another hour, woke back up just before 8 o'clock, started getting my stuff together, took a shower, ate a little breakfast, then left. Me and Tsunami went and picked up Zepp and picked up Narina so we could take them to the airport. And we went back to our house. And then we got back, and I think got back to the house about 9:15. Had to be out of the house at about 10 o'clock. And from there, me, Dee, and Tsunami and Dio, we kind of drove around a little bit. Was going through our little, if you want to call it like a settling down phase after con. We knew we were all flying out that day, so our flights were, I think, an hour apart. So we decided to go around the city a little bit. So we drove back downtown towards, kind of close to where the convention center was, but it was a little to the west, where they had a bunch of boats in the harbor up there. So they had the USS Midway, which is the Naval Museum up there. They had a couple of like pirate ships. They had a maritime museum. So we went and parked. We went to the boardwalk up there for a bit. Walked around, got some coffee. Tsunami was just very, very keen on seeing the ocean this weekend, so we made sure we got the chance, because why would we hold Tsunami back from the ocean? We had to let him see his homeland while we were at TwitchCon this past weekend, so we drove around a little bit more. a real silly thing of mine was I wanted to drive across. Yeah, Tsunami even got his own evacuation area. There were so many signs all over San Diego with tsunami evacuation routes, so it's like, oh heck, if we were driving up with tsunami, everyone knew which way to go. They knew how to escape. That's only if tsunami would let them escape. And we're in ad break. Whoopsie. We're yapping so much, I'm not even seeing when the ad breaks are coming up. I'm gonna take another sip of water. Hope everyone's having a good night. If you're not in ad break or ad jail, if you're a subby or with that Twitch turbo there, appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying stream in this big old yap session of TwitchCon. Still got a little bit more story to go through. I tell you what, though, we're getting into the end, which is not as simple as you guys think. Most of you are in communication with us during the upcoming finish to this trip, so you kind of know how our experience was. You got the first hand. You got it as it was happening live. But we'll talk about that as soon as the ad break's done here. Here, have some clicky stem while we wait to come out of ad break. Clicky stems. All right, looks like we're back out of ad jail. Welcome back, everybody. So we're getting close to the end of our trip here. No, not Keys. Although very similar to Keys. So I wanted to do a silly thing, which was go across the Coronado Island Bridge, which is famous because it goes up really, really high, but it's also a curved bridge. So we went across that to Coronado Island, and then just immediately did a U-turn and went back the other way. Some of Dee's friends were supposedly at a beach. We were hoping to meet up with them, and then they ended up going to a different beach. But anyway, we started making our way towards the beach. And we got to the beach. What was really cool about the beach is it had free parking. I know it's kind of a silly thing to talk about when it comes to what was cool about the beach, but it had free parking. That was one of the cool things about that. But we got to the beach, and we get over that little sandbar right there outside of the parking lot, and I could just tell Tsunami was incredibly happy. And anyway, we were like, okay, where do we want to go? Because we're like on this sandbar here. This side is the doggy beach. This side is the regular beach, basically. So we opt to go to the regular side. Gamer subs it is, because I drank the last of my water during that ad break. Ow! Stop it! But thanks for the hydrate there. Oh, you know what? I haven't been stretching. Oh, let's get the stretch. I gotta make sure we're doing the stretch. Been doing the hydrating tonight, but ow. Haven't been doing the stretchies. Gotta make sure we're doing them stretchies. So let's say this is the beach. Yeah, like I said, we got the doggy beach, and then we got the regular people beach over here. We ended up going to the regular side of the beach. There were some bulldozers going on right there. They were digging some trenches to what we eventually found out was to help like erosion during high tide and whatnot. So we thought they were going to be digging in the same spot. That we start noticing that the bulldozers are slowly moving this way while we're like, okay, up here they come. Okay, we got to move over here. Up, they're coming here. Now we got to move over here. Eventually, yeah, they were huge piles of sand. It was one of those things where it was like, let's go jump in the pile, and then we could just get buried in the sand pretty easily. Uh, eventually, one of the lifeguards came in their truck, and they were like, hey, they're going to be going up to this point, so if you guys want, go over here. It's a little past where they're going to stop for the day, so you guys won't have to move anymore. We moved probably 6 or 7 times before we were told, hey, just move over here, and then you guys won't get bothered anymore, basically. But in the end, we spent roughly 2 hours at the beach. Literally, it was just sitting, talking, eating some snacks, having a couple beverages, going out to the ocean, putting our feet in the water, more or less. It was just a nice little time. There were a few times where we thought Tsunami was going to just keep walking and eventually go back home. But, yeah. We reeled him back all those times. All we know is we got to get more time at the beach next time. For Tsunami, he's got to go see the tide pools as well. We realized that there were some tide pools nearby, but it was getting kind of close to where we had to get the car back to the airport and whatnot. To backtrack a little bit while we were at the airport, or not the airport, at the beach. This is about the airport, though. We were starting to get some, I was starting to get some notifications that, hey, your flight's getting pushed back a little bit. So it was like the first time. We were originally supposed to fly out at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. We get a notification, hey, your flight got moved back an hour to 6 o'clock, citing maintenance issues with the incoming flight that the plane you were going to be getting on. There's issues with this plane, so we're going to get those fixed. And so those people over there, yes, time to cover the shit show. And I tell you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, the next, starting here, so this was, I want to say it was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Little did the three of us know that the next 16 hours from there on out was going to be down. It was just going to keep going down and further down and further down. So we'll start off on the good note and end on the bad notes. So yeah, it was about 1 o'clock, and we get the first notification saying, hey, your flight's pushed back an hour, so you're going to be leaving at 6 instead. It's like, okay, that's actually kind of nice, because then instead of us leaving about 45 minutes before D, we're going to leave about the same time. Oh, and look at that. Our gates are neighbors. They were flying out of gate 43. We were going to be flying out of gate 42. Great. Cool. No matter what, by the way, leading up to all this, the car had to be back at 2:30. So no matter what happened with all of the airport stuff, we had to be back at the airport by 2 o'clock, 2:30 at the latest. So we're hanging out at the beach. We're still having a good time. And then, 30 minutes goes by. All of a sudden, look at the phone. Oh, guys, we're pushed back another hour. Flight's leaving at 7 now. Okay, now we're flying out after D leaves. And by the way, your gate's now moved from like 42 to 38. So we'll be a little bit further down the terminal. Another half hour goes by. Hey, your flight's getting pushed back another 45 minutes. So now you're going to be flying out at 7:45. So as you can see, we're already at 2 hours and 45 minute delay from when we were originally supposed to leave at 5. Then it rolls around to about, it's getting closer to the time we're leaving the beach, and then we get one more update. Well, at least one more update on time. Hey, your flight's pushed back to 8:30 now. Okay. Dio, Tsunami, we're going to be hanging out at the airport a lot tonight. Luckily, we had laptops. Luckily, we had switches. All the stuff to keep us entertained for a bit. So we eventually drive back to the airport. We get there. We get the car back. I think a little before 2:30. We take the shuttle bus. We're at the airport by just before 3 o'clock. The fear that I had originally was that we would not be able to check our bags because our flight got pushed back so much. But luckily, they let us in. This way, we could check our bags. We go through security. We could just get comfy after that. So we take our bags up to get checked. I checked them ahead of time. They were paid for ahead of time. So we flew United. United's got something where they call a bag drop shortcut, where all you got to do is go up to the counter, give them your bags, they'll tag them for you. You're good to go, basically. Instead of having to go wait in line, get everything checked out, boarding passes, all that type of stuff, and check in through an agent. We streamlined that, basically. But it came down to, it's like, all right, okay, so your bags are paid for, they're checked. You got to go over here to print off the boarding passes, because all the boarding passes were on my phone. But also, Dio and Tsunami wanted the physical ones. Again, Dio's first time ever flying. Tsunami's first time in, as he said earlier, 25 years. So they tell me to go this way to go print out boarding passes. I get all the way down to where they were supposedly telling me to go, and it's like, this isn't United anymore. This is like British Airways and American and Delta and a couple others. So I turn back around. I start walking back to where I checked in the bags, and lo and behold, this is where the shortcut was. The place to go print out the boarding passes were right here. But the guy at the check-in told me to go that way. Don't know what to tell you. So I eventually go back and I print out the boarding passes, and it was the same guy that checked us in, and I was saying, hey, yeah, we just checked our bags a few minutes ago. Boarding passes apparently didn't print. Can we get our boarding passes? So the passes prints out 3. D and Tsunami are waiting, or I'm sorry, Dio and Tsunami are waiting with D over by the entrance to security. And, you know, he pulls out the boarding passes. I show him my ID. And he's like, Mr. Tsunami? I was like, no, he's over there. Mr. Dio, he's also waiting over there. I was like, we literally just came and checked our bags with you like 2 minutes ago. He's like, well, they need to be here with their IDs for their boarding pass. And I was just like, but we literally just came up to you. Can I just take their boarding passes? I'm like, here's again my ID. You can see we're all sitting next to each other. I'm literally pointing them out over there. And the guy's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Here you go. Let me tell you, Kotaro, the last 2 weekends, not only this past weekend, but the weekend before that, I mentioned at the beginning of stream that I was working, I was on a work trip, and I had airport problems the past week as well. So this was 2 straight weekends of just airport BS. But again, I understand the security side of things and whatnot, but again, the guy was pretty lenient and was nice, and, you know, gave me all 3 boarding passes. So, I give them their boarding passes. I go through TSA pre. Those 3 go through regular. We're separated for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or whatever, so I'm waiting on the other side of security for D and Dio and Tsunami to come out. They eventually come out. I had a guy come up to me while I was waiting, saw my TwitchCon bag, we just started talking about the con a little bit, and we had a good little time just kind of chatting a little bit until those 3 came out. Then we went over to the food court that was at the San Diego airport. We got some breakfast. I will say the nice thing, okay, so at this point, our flight had been moved back 3.5 hours. United was really, really kind and gave all 3 of us meal vouchers, basically. So they're like, hey, here's $15 for each of you. Go redeem these at wherever you want to get dinner or whatever you want to do. So we all get dinner. If you've ever been to the airport, as you know, food's expensive. So $15 was not necessarily a free meal. You still had to pay the difference, which I think was like $5 or $6 for most of us anyway. So it was like, okay, we can handle that. That's not too bad. So yeah, we just sit in the food court. D's crocheting. I'm slowly nomming on my food while I'm watching Joel. Dio falls asleep and Tsunami's playing Pokemon Pizza. And we're all just kind of sitting there for a while, basically waiting until D needs to go board her plane, more or less. So we all just kind of relax and eat our food. And honestly, we're all kind of exhausted. And it's one of those things where it's like that comfortable silence. I mean, we've all known each other for such a long time that we just have that comfortable silence, and we're just sitting with each other, and we're just all chill. We're all relaxing, stuff like that. So eventually it comes time. Dee's got to go to her plane, so we walk her to her gate. We say our goodbyes. We say, we'll see you later. Trying not to cry, stuff like that. Dee's flight was only like an hour and a half, so Dee's like, I'll text you guys when I get home safely. You guys will probably still be here. And it's like, yeah, about that. We'll be here. But yeah, thanks for letting us know that we still can't leave by the time you even get home. By the way, at this point also, our gate had been switched for a 6th time. And this time it was not in this little same... So we were at like the end of the terminal here, where you had like 4 gates all together. Originally our gate was supposed to be here. And then it moved over here. Then it moved a little bit down. This time we got a new gate. It was literally a 10-minute walk down the terminal to gate 33. We get down there. There's a couple flights going ahead of that. We find a little wall the 3 of us can kind of sit against and charge our phones. Dio starts playing Super Robot Wars. I'm still watching Joel and working on a couple stream-related things. Tsunami's playing more Pokemon Pizza. And one flight leaves, another flight comes to the gate. They've got a board for that one. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at the board in front of the gate. Because usually it'll show, okay, here's the flight that's coming up. And usually in small print underneath, it'll be like, here's the next departure coming out of this gate following this flight. And I see something, it doesn't say where we're going. So I think maybe that's an error. About 20 minutes later, we're still sitting there. Dio all of a sudden gets an alert that says they're switching our gates again. Where do they send us? Back to our original frickin' gate. The gate that we had at first. So we got all comfortable by this gate. We were ready to go. This is where we're going to leave. We're ready. Oh, by the way, go back to your original gate 10 minutes that way. I just wanted to slam my head into the wall. I felt so bad for Dio again because this is his first experience in air travel. And unfortunately, with all the things that are going on in our country today, it's not the best time to fly because of staff shortages. So, again, we understand delays. Like, keep telling Dio, I'm like, Dio, this typically never happens. This is not like what this is supposed to be remotely like. Usually, it's like I fly half a dozen to a dozen times a year. I promise this is not every experience. This is like an experience that I have once every maybe like 3 years. And I've had 2 in the same week, or 2 in 2 weeks. So we walk back down to our gate. Some time back then. Although that was a time when planes weren't so well built as they are now. So we go back down to our original gate. We sit. We see our destination on the board. We hear them talking about our destination on the board. It is not moving. We are staying where we're at. So we find a place to sit, like a couple rows back by the gate. Baseball game's on. I'm watching that. We're all just vibing. It's like, okay, we are just ready to get on a plane and go home. Finally, they announce us for boarding at like 8:30. By the way, so they announce us for boarding at 8:30. We were originally supposed to leave at 8:30. So we all board the plane. Everyone is just groggy, tired, on edge. But what was really cool about this flight is there were a lot of con attendees. So much that where we sat, Tsunami met somebody that sat directly in front of him that he's known for a long time, that he didn't even know was here this past weekend. So it's like they hit it off for a bit and they were talking. And then we just started to notice we were like in a small little section of the plane, which was a lot of TwitchCon attendees. So it was kind of like a little bit of a positive energy. Everyone was kind of happy to see that there's other con attendees on the flight and finally getting to go home. So we all take our seats. And we're waiting on like 2 people to come to the plane. They both finally arrived. It was a married couple, basically. And they had their name called like 8 times. To the point where you could tell that they had sprinted to the gates. Because they got on the plane, they were short of breath. One of the flight attendants had a gentleman in front of us go from his middle seat to a window seat in the aisle in front. Because they didn't think they were going to show up, and then they show up with like 30 seconds to go before they close the doors to the plane. I felt bad for the guy because it's like, oh, he got comfortable, and then, I mean, let's put it this way: some people find middle seats all right, but they're not the best on a plane. Anyway, we take off. By the time we finally took off, it was 9:15. So we waited. By the time the wheels left the ground, it was 4 hours and 15 minutes since we were supposed to leave. By that time, by 9:15, which is 11:15 Central Time, our plane should have been landed. We should have been deboarded. We should have had our bags already at the airport and slowly making our way back to my car. Nope, we're just leaving San Diego. There were a couple of spots of turbulence on the flight back to Chicago, and so much I think there was a couple little spots where our route had to, if it was going this way, we might have went this way instead, or we went this way instead, because it was supposed to be like a 3 hour and 45-minute flight, and it turned out to be like 4 hours and 15 minutes. Because by the time we landed, it was 3 a.m. that we were finally on the ground. We got off the plane at like 3:15. We landed in Terminal 2 at O'Hare. Baggage claim was all the way back at Terminal 1. And not only is it back at Terminal 1, they put our bags in the furthest possible claim back in Terminal 1. So it was roughly a 15-minute, maybe close to 20-minute walk from the gate we came out of, getting all the way over to baggage. What was a positive is our bags were there by the time we got there. So it was like, oh good, we could just grab our bags and go. Oh wait, look, there's my bag. Why is my bag missing a wheel? Yeah. I got a brand new suitcase last week. Actually, it was exactly 1 week ago. Here comes my bag. Down the claim. I see a peg on the bottom. I'm like, where the hell is the wheel? It's 3:30 in the morning. The baggage office is not open for me to go make a claim. I'm like, you know what? I'm too tired to care right now. I get my bag. Tsunami gets his bag. Dio gets his bag. We start making our way towards the People Mover in O'Hare. It's the People Mover is what is the train that goes between all the terminals and the parking garage. So we're waiting for the People Mover for a little bit, and it finally comes. It takes us a good 15 minutes on the People Mover to get back to the garage. By this time, it is 3:50, coming up on 4 o'clock a.m., by the way, again. I'm pretty sure I emphasized how early in the morning it was. And by this time, I had been nearly up technically for like 24 hours because I had woken up early to take Oscar to the airport back in San Diego, which would have been about 7:45 Central Time. So I'm at 21 hours basically. I'll just say I'm lucky I did not hit 24 hours of being awake at this point. I haven't done that in a long time. Anyway, we got on the People Mover. We go back to the parking garage. We parked in the economy lot, so we had to take a bus to go from the parking garage to the parking lot. Reminds me of a meme I seen a while ago. It was two dudes in a baseball diamond shot putting bags with high-vis vests on it. It said airport pay. I love that. So we get back to the parking garage. People have to use the bathroom real quick, so we do that. And I keep telling them, it's like the buses run like every 10 minutes, so we'll eventually get back. We walk outside. There's 3 shuttle buses ready to take you places. The one at the far end was going to like one lot. The one to the right was going to rental cars in another lot. The one in the middle was the one that was going to our lot. They were just standing there. The driver's inside, just kind of sitting at the wheel. Doors are closed, trying to figure out, okay, I'm going to wait a few minutes, and if he doesn't open up the doors here in a few minutes, I'm going to just politely go ask what's going on. What ended up happening was, after a few minutes, we see a tanker truck come by. Apparently the bus that was supposed to go back to our lot broke down and was also out of gas. But the bus driver for the other lot the bus on the right, the driver was out, kind of helping the guy in the middle bus out a little bit. And then he comes up to us. He's like, "What lot are you guys going to?" "Ain't got no gas in it." He's like, "What lot are you guys going to?" I was like, "Well, we're going to this lot." He's like, just come aboard. Come on, I'll take you there. So, guy was very nice. Took us back to our lot. Finally got to where my car was. By the way, when we got to the airport that morning, or Thursday morning, there was no spots unless you went far back. So we eventually we found a spot, but we were far in the back. By the time we got to our car, it was 4:30 in the morning. Got in the car. And we will continue this in a minute because we are about to start an ad break. Guys, I really need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to use this time to go to the bathroom, and then we will conclude this talk. So I'll be right back. Ah, heck, sorry, guys. I didn't realize the words were broken. I remember fixing that beforehand, but my apologies. Literally, once I hit the BRB, I was like, I am running off to go use the bathroom. But in that time, we're back from ad break anyway. Welcome back from ad break, everybody. So we left off on the final portion of the shit show of the airport. So yeah, we finally get back to the car. It's late. If there's anything that's positive about getting back so late, is there is nobody on the road. We drove. It was about 20-25 minutes back to the apartments, and it was roughly about 5 a.m. by the time we got home. I had been keeping my roommates in the loop about the delays pretty much since they started the previous afternoon. It was also one of those where they knew that they knew about the delays that happened the week before when I was coming home from my work trip. So they were very, very kind and threw out, the cot and some blankets and stuff like that. So yeah, we got back. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. We got in. Dio works his magic. He falls asleep in 30 seconds. Tsunami and I are up for maybe another 10 minutes or so. We left our bags in the car. It's like, hey, we're getting back. I am not taking my suitcase up. I just want to grab my backpack, and I'll get the rest later. Which was all right because I wanted to take my suitcase back to the airport the next day. So we got up. We slept for about 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, roughly five-ish hours. Got up at 10 o'clock. Dio left because Dio had a 2-hour drive home. He had to work the next day. Tsunami, myself, and my roommate Hammer went back to the airport so I could do a baggage damage claim. To which I found out that a missing wheel is not covered under the airline because it is quote-unquote normal wear and tear. And I didn't really argue with the guys that were doing the bags and whatnot. It was just more of a, this bag's 6 days old. This is not normal wear and tear. Where's my wheel? The theory that we came up with coming back to the apartment was maybe the wheel fell off and they threw it in the bag. We checked later. It was not in the bag. So I'm still missing a wheel to my bag. My brand new bag. But we took Tsunami home, and that was kind of like the official conclusion to the TwitchCon trip. Started off really, really good. Had a great time at TwitchCon. Finished with airport bullshit. But, yeah, what can you do? That's all part of air travel. It's the first time I've ever had to claim damage to a bag. They at least told me, hey, here's a third party that we use for like simple things like this. They should be able to help you out. So I put a claim in with them today. Haven't heard back. My hope is that they just send me a replacement wheel. What United told me was like they might. So as soon as the arena left, it nosedived. Yeah, I needed my mods for that one. I mean, I had one of my mods. Tsunami is one of my mods. So Tsunami's been on this trip the entire time. But Narina is definitely the more technical mod with a lot of logistics and stuff. That one I could have used Narina for. But yeah. Not to say that ruined the trip. It was just not the ideal way to end said trip. To give a overall synopsis of the trip, TwitchCon was fun. TwitchCon was a completely different beast than what I'm used to when it comes to anime conventions. I liked the panels that were actually informative and not about your favorite waifu. I learned a lot of stuff this past weekend. I saw people that time to make United a exactly. I met people that I eventually wanted to meet at one point, but we're all on the internet. Typically, internet people don't always meet up with other internet people, but that's all TwitchCon was a bunch of internet people in the same place, and a lot of us VTubers breaking immersion with other VTubers in our community. So it was a good time. Again, there's a lot of underlying issues that happened at TwitchCon with some of the more well-known streamers. It puts Twitch in a bit of a bad light. One of the other big things that really happened with a lot of those that were at meet and greets, the streamers that went to meet and greets, any gifts that were given to streamers were allegedly tossed out. That was every streamer that had a meet and greet. Any streamer that had a meet and greet had any gifts given to them tossed. There is another theory that they weren't necessarily tossed. Some people think that either con staff or building staff took the gifts for themselves too. Overall, I think it's BS. I know Emeru is speaking up about it. I was listening to okay, maybe I got that mixed up. Maybe it was just the VTubers, but I could have sworn I heard that it was just streamers that in general had gifts given to them, because I know Emeru missed out on gifts. I know Chibi and I'm guessing Nags as well missed out on gifts. I know Mousy was missing gifts. So maybe it was just VTubers, but I could have sworn it was any streamer involved. Again, that's where you get a little bit of a mix-up. But it's just more the fact that, you probably had so many fans of various communities that had handmade things, that had bought things for their favorite streamer, their favorite VTuber, and all of a sudden you get told it's thrown out or it's missing. Right, exactly. That's a good core of the streamers that I follow as well. That's not to say that's not gonna keep me away from going to TwitchCon again next year. I'm pretty much set on going to TwitchCon again next year. I think, given all that underlying stuff, it was a lot of fun. You got to hang out with friends. You got to see a lot of great artists. You got to meet your favorite streamers if you had the chance. Offsite meetups going up in stock. Heck yeah, I think it would be awesome for communities to get together in like their own little regions or stuff like that. I know Twitch has like a meetups website basically for communities. Not necessarily like individual communities, but like regional type stuff or countries or whatever it might be. I think it would be awesome to have meetups, though, just in general, too. But yeah, there's a lot of underlying things that Twitch is going to have to answer for. I'm very curious to see how things kind of turn out. Like I said, I know Emeru's and Iron Mouse and Chibidoki are all speaking up. I know Chibi was mentioning on her stream earlier today, because I was catching a little bit of her stream before I started my own, that she was supposed to be on a phone call with Twitch, I think, tonight or sometime early tomorrow, something like that. But she was mentioning, like, to everybody that was watching her, it's like, hey, if you had an issue, no matter how small it was, let me know and I will speak up about it. So she was like, if you have to open up a ticket in Discord or just bring it up on Discord or whatever it might be, she wanted to hear about it. I I enjoy the fact that some of these VTubers are speaking up, or even streamers speaking up for the VTubers or anybody that had issues at TwitchCon this year. And if you personally had an issue with TwitchCon this year, I think there's like a feedback form or a survey out there. If you personally had an issue, speak up. I mean, that's the best thing you can do at this point. Is, yeah, I know some of the big streamers are going to be speaking up about it, but you yourself speak up, even if it was a small thing. If something seems like it could be improved next year, send out an email on Feedback Monday. I didn't even see that email. I have to go back and look at my emails. Then again, I was holed up at an airport all day and didn't want to do anything. So I'll have to go back and see if I accidentally might have tossed that one. I will say I did like the G Street parking garage I used, though. Might have to look that up next time. What I did like about the convention center parking was it was not that expensive. It was $25 a day. There was plenty of space downstairs. I mean, we got there early enough each day that I think we were able to find easy parking. I want to say the only thing that was difficult about the convention center is if you left when the con was done for the day, it was very slow to get out. When we left early, I think it was on Saturday, and even on Sunday, it was like a couple hours before con wrapped up for the day, so it was easier to get out. So I was pleased with the parking at the convention center, at least, on that end. Maybe I'll look at offsite next year. Or the other thing we actually talked about in our Airbnb is just taking public transportation next year. I mean, they got the trains, they got buses. Dee was saying for them to take rail from one spot to the convention center was like $1 or $1.50 or something. So it was real cheap. I'd be fine with just Ubering next year and taking public transportation. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think next... It was nice. I will say it was nice to have a car. It was nice to have the flexibility to, if we wanted to go out somewhere like we did Thursday and Friday, we had that flexibility. Or the same thing on Sunday or even Monday when we had some time before our flight, that we had the flexibility to go to the beach or go to places. Go away, AdBlock Plus. I don't care. Paid about $15 counting tip for an Uber almost everywhere. That's not bad. When you really think about it, I used points for the rental that I got. It still came out to about $270 for the 4 days, which is pretty good. So more or less, my car I had 3 free days with, and then the other 2 days I was actually paying for. But when I look back at it, like with what you're talking about, Zep, there, if I were to like count up all the Uber trips that I could have taken, it might have been less than renting a car. I got more used to the concept of Uber actually on my work trip before TwitchCon, because I did not rent a car during my work trip recently. I actually Ubered everywhere because rental cars that weekend were running for like $700, and my company was not about to pay out $700 for a rental car. And I don't blame them for that. Most of the time I find a rental car for like $300. But next year I think it's going to be Ubers and public transpo, and finding a Airbnb, if I do rent, finding an Airbnb that has a garage or committed parking, basically, like a permit or something, whatever it might be. But yeah, I think TwitchCon will be a go again for next year. I'm also thinking of maybe doing WeebCon in April or OffCai in July. I've heard really good things about both of those. Both of them have been very VTuber friendly. Yeah, honestly, Zep, that's another thought. Is there's several hotels right next to the convention center, which I've done for other conventions as well. Maybe that'll be a thing next year as well. But Offkai was way more VTuber than TwitchCon, to be honest. See, the only thing, and I've heard other streamers bring this up, I didn't care for all the people that were walking around doing IRL streams. It's like every few steps you'd be getting like these groups of guys just coming around and they're doing an IRL stream and it's like, oh, look at me, I'm at TwitchCon, I'm having so much fun. It's like, I mean, I get if that's their streamer basis, basically, is doing a lot of IRL stuff and showing off where they're at and whatnot. I get it. That's a completely different branch of Twitch than I'm used to, than I'm sure a lot of you are used to. It just, to me, it kind of seems like it throws off the vibe of going to a convention where you're there to meet people and have fun. Again, it's probably a completely different machine when it comes to the IRL streamers. Yes, if people asked for your consent, first of all, that's huge. I didn't have any IRLs come up to me and talk to me, but it's just one of those where they're just getting in your face right away, or it seemed like some were just getting in people's faces and, you know, forcing them to be on camera when they didn't want to be, or it's like they were jumping in this group and it's like, I don't necessarily need my face to be shown everywhere. Now, given only a good handful of you actually know my face IRL, because we broke everyone's immersions this past weekend and whatnot. Some of you met me before that anyway. But it's like the jocks and the nerds all over again. Pretty much. But it's just like, have a good time. Do a stream maybe for a couple of hours. Like what VTubers are doing when they have a walk around. But again, that's because A, they're not there. B, it gives their community a chance to meet them. That's one different thing. But everyone just kind of going around and shouting and everything, I was just like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. TwitchCon this year was sort of like a lot like IRL streamer fans, much different crowd than last year. Might come to a head badly if it grows more and more about a huge group fight popping off, but Twitch streamers aren't usually that bad. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think I felt unsafe around any of the IRLs. Kotaro, as you mentioned, there were a couple times where you walk by some of the IRLs and they smelled really, really bad because of smoking weed or whatever it might be. But it's like, anytime I saw like the IRLs, I just kind of like went like this. I tried to stay out of shot of their camera, tried to stay away as far as I could. Yeah. But that's my take. If you're going to TwitchCon, Zep, I was very tempted to bring up an idea with you from a panel that Narina and I went to, which is they were giving everyone a mission of doing like a short story or a quick type of thing at con, and I was like, maybe Zep and I should go to one of the streamer stations and just do like a 30-minute stream. But no, it literally is. I'm there to see friends. I'm there to learn. I'm there to see all the stuff that's going on. I don't need to worry about streaming. If there was like a game, kind of like last year, I remember when Monster Hunter Wilds came out and Joel did like a 30-minute quick stream of the demo. If something like that happened where there was a game at TwitchCon that I was really, really interested in playing, maybe I do like go to the streamer station and do like a 30-minute stream of it or whatever it might be. But outside of that, it's just like, I'm not gonna worry about streaming. I'm gonna learn about stuff to improve streams moving forward and bring a lot more stuff to you guys. But outside of that, I had fun meeting friends. And it really got me excited for next year and potentially doing, again, other conventions like Offkai or like WeebCon. And maybe getting a small group together and stuff like that. Every arcade cabinet at the con was bust besides X Games, Sean White snowboarding. Dio and I played a shooting game where you had like 4 different stages and you're like trying to be the first to shoot this, or you're trying to shoot this many like cans or bugs or whatever it is. There was one party-based game cabinet there that Dio and I saw that we've seen at the anime conventions we go to, and it's like, damn it, if we knew that that was here, we would have pulled people aside and be like, we need to play this. We need to play this. I can't remember the name of the game offhand, but we'll see it next year. No, we didn't try to do a pickleball match. I thought the pickleball was a little odd to have, because it's like you're already walking around con all day, and it's like, okay, I've got my 25,000 steps in for the day, but hey, let's go play a match of pickleball. I thought that was just a little out of place, but that's just me. Well, guys, that's TwitchCon in a nutshell for us this year. Got lots of cool merch, met lots of awesome people, got the chance to catch up with people that I haven't seen in a hot minute. It was good. We're gonna go back here so we can close things out. Clappy, yay! I'm a tennis type person, so I hit the ball too hard. I like the concept of pickleball because it's that nice little medium between, you know, it's not as intense as tennis, but, you know, you're still playing in like a doubles format or even a singles format, and it just seems like it's a little bit easier. I still would like to play pickleball one of these days. I've always been more of like a table tennis type of person, so I kind of see it being that middle ground between like just a giant table tennis board and you're playing that basically. Did see the cornhole setup, thought about that. There was also plenty of foosball tables that I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot that there's things I didn't really care for, and there's things I really thought were really cool. So I didn't get the chance to do anything with GDQ. I didn't go watch any of the gaming. I didn't watch any of the big tournaments that were going on, like the Milk Cup or the rival stuff. I thought the setups that they had were really cool, but I didn't care to watch any of them. Ski Ball or Bust 2026. Heck yeah. Or bring in some mech pods, like bring in some BattleTech pods. Let streamers go to battle in big mech suits. Stuff like that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Alright, guys. Well, I appreciate you being here today. I had a lot of fun at TwitchCon. If you didn't get the chance to go to TwitchCon this year, if it's something that you are interested in next year, I know there's, again, a lot of drama that came out of this year. There's stuff that I'm pretty sure that they need to work on, and who knows, it might get that improvement for next year. Again, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was a great time. I think, again, for anything convention related, what's really good with it is you're just meeting friends and stuff like that. If anything, at the end of the day, you got your friends. You got your friends to hang out with. All right, let's find somebody to raid out to. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Lev. Hi, Lev. I'm assuming you were just lurking this entire time, but I appreciate you popping in here for the end. You're awesome. You know, who do we want to go to? Who do we want to go to? You were listening? I'm glad you were listening. Thanks for being here, love. It's good hearing from you, too. Hope you are doing well, friends. Oh, we're gonna snooze that just in case. Oh, you know what? We're gonna go right into Stoic. Stoic just started a charity stream with Gamers Outreach. So we're gonna go say hi to Stoic. But everyone, thanks for coming by. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about TwitchCon. Next stream for me will be Saturday with Zep and with Dorina and Dio. We're going back to Borderlands 2 because it has been a very, very hot minute since we played Borderlands. So there's a lot that we need to catch up on there. Friday night, I'll be joining Zep on his stream. Originally, I was going to collab that night, but there are a couple other things going on that I wouldn't be able to make it till later anyway. But we're playing Goblin Cleanup, I think it's called. I think that was what the game is called. So we're going to be playing that Friday night. So tune on over to Zep's stream. If you haven't given the Zep Lander a follow, let's give him a quick shout-a-roo there. Go see that guy. That's where we'll be Friday night. We'll have some fun over there. But guys, thank you so much. We will talk to you later. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And we'll see you soon. Goodbye. Oh wait, where's my raid message?